Vegas. She calls herself the Cub Hunter, and I told her I'm the Cougar Whisperer.
Oh,
and
you're
she
the
knows what
Cougar
time it is.
Whisperer.
She knows what time it is, and I think she's funny as hell, and I think it's dope, man. So you said you're doing this for healing for the community. Talk about that a little bit.
So basically, what it is that we take proceeds from the show and reinvest them into the community. We do Easter egg hunts, we do back to school block parties, anything else. We feed the homeless. So a lot of that money that comes in goes right back out the door, and into these causes that need us in our city.
Right, and I think that's dope. Anytime you're doing something civically, and taking that money, you're taking a chance on your people, and it sounds like you guys are doing it. It's just to enjoy it and enjoy everything. Because I know putting on events and functions is not as lucrative as people believe.
Man, let me speak on this. We are going into the 5th year of this show.
Okay, Valentine's Day or just the whole series?
We do 40 shows. Yeah, we do 40 shows a year.
We do 40 shows a year.
A year.
Y'all are working.
From March to the day before Thanksgiving.
Right.
This year is March 7th to November the 22nd.
Okay.
Right.
Every Wednesday.
40 shows we bring out. At St. Mary's, we bring about 50 people, 70 people on a Wednesday. Now we at Loafer, so we bringing at over 150 people.
Wow.
But it's a lot of people had that misconception. There's no money, a lot of money not being made.
Right.
And plus we're giving back to our community any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
We even donate to other non-profitable organizations.
Right.
But we just do it because we love it, man. There's been people that came out and haven't been out the house in a year. One lady told me her husband died a year ago.
Wow.
She hasn't been out the house. Her friends dragged her out to the house to the show, and she was just so thankful that she came.
Wow.
She was crying. She had so much of a good time. So just little things like that satisfies us.
That's dope.
That we able to help other people.
That is dope.
Yeah.
But also, these two gentlemen are business owners as well. So can each of you talk about your individual businesses, please?
All right. So I own CM Mobile Detail. We're an auto detailing company, service in Maryland, DC, and Virginia.
I need that.
Okay. So anything that goes on with your vehicle, I'm talking about upholstery cleaning, carpet cleaning, which is done by All Star Quality Cleaning Services, paint defects, we address as well.
Wow.
Yeah, scratches from.
You gotta chill. My car is okay.
Correction.
We gonna be okay over here.
So upholstery cleaning, your couches in your home.
My joint is terrible. My car is a model case for y'all. Like
I really was
it's
just
a
looking
model
like,
case.
yo,
We need to flip EJ car. We need to flip EJ car.
Like if you want to donate to the community, you know what I mean? My car is right there.
Yeah, also I own CM Snow Removal. I own snow plow trucks as well.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Black. See, this goes back into. See, I've been on here, and Jennifer is a great co-host in the sense that she has 2 boys. She not gonna say never. She rarely hates on. All right. She never hates on. She never hates on the black man. But I said, after she started to show off with the.
I don't say she hate on the black man because she support my business.
She doesn't hate on the black man. She hates in her own way because she's just a hater. But we're talking just in general. She never hated on the black man, and she started to show off early when we started last year with the Black Girl Magic, I think. Yes. But I've been on the black male empowerment movement. So the fact that you 2 brothers are on here goes right along with it. So it's super dope.
Okay.
But I don't want to
I don't get credit for that.
No, I don't want to take away too much of everybody that's here. You spoke about nonprofits, but I'm gonna go to Alicia, who is. I call her one of the mothers of nonprofits. Oh. She started her own nonprofit from scratch, ran for city council at one point, major community person, and I'm pretty sure her wheels are spinning on how she can try to talk to you guys to get something going for something that she's doing some way or the other. But
I really have already thought
I know her really well. I know her really well, and I wanted to highlight your nonprofit and what you're doing. You're still running with Beautiful Butterflies?
Yes. So
tell us about that.
I have a nonprofit called Beautiful Butterflies Incorporated, which is a nonprofit for girls 8 through 16 in Baltimore City, where we really focus on self-esteem, etiquette, financial literacy, and just building a sense of sisterhood amongst girls. In addition to doing nonprofit work, I found in starting my nonprofit that going through the process wasn't easy. And there was really no one there to help and guide me along the way. And so from that, I started my own business, which is called A&J Consulting, where I actually help people who want to start nonprofits and small businesses by doing the startup work for them.
Wow.
So if you're trying to start a business or a nonprofit, let me know.
That is amazing. I was just having a discussion with someone about that. That very thing, that you don't see those kinds of businesses that tell you how to start a business.
Nope. I'll do all the work from you, whether it's your state paperwork, doing the application for your 501c3 business plans. I got you.
That's dope.
You know how to write grants?
I do.
Indeed.
We need to talk to you, though.
All
And,
right.
I'm trying.
and
Listen.
you have kept this gem from me
No,
all this time.
no, here's the
How
thing.
dare you? And you know
Here's
the
the thing.
struggle.
Here's
you
the thing.
know.
Here's the thing. Now, I didn't know. I knew she did that stuff, but I also do that stuff.
You do
But-
grant writing too?
I can. I might not be. You know what? Male empowerment.
I'm about to say,
I'm
don't
better
you
than
know
her.
Digging
Okay.
the hole so
I'm
much
better than
deeper.
her. Okay. But the point is,
He's good.
No,
I
no.
just go back behind him and make sure everything's
Clean
good.
it.
which is
and
very,
that's when you
which
get
is
the
very
money.
true. And I'm gonna tell you, she's dedicated and she's gonna be on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys are talking about
necessary.
nonprofit, and listen, I'm telling you, this is one of the queens of nonprofit work, and she's dedicated in whatever she does. She doesn't play. I've known her for over a decade now. Another pain in my ass, but still,
It's all love.
you know. So say that to say, I mean, when you were doing your business thing, you didn't tell nobody. You didn't tell nobody until it was too late.
We're not gonna talk about
That's all right. That's fine. Yeah. So now everybody's acquainted. Everybody's family. You know. Let's get into some quick hitters
Let's do it.
and some topics. Jen, you the Super Bowl just passed.
it. Did.
The Eagles won.
They did, and I was
Patriots
excited
lost,
for them.
and I'm happy.
I was excited for the
Philly off the
Eagles.
chain right now.
I say they are our
Philly's
third cousins.
They just off the. They worse than us. They off the chain, boy.
Philly's
little
looking like
ham in
Vegas
Boy,
right
we
now.
ain't got nothing on Philly, boy. But they deserve it, man. They deserve it.
I
And
don't
it
know
was
about
their first
that,
Super
but
Bowl
I mean, they
win,
worked
so
hard.
it's
I mean,
understandable.
They played good football. For
to get it right, I don't know if they deserve it. Damn them, but
Yeah, I haven't been really following football this season, but I did watch the Super Bowl, and that was a really good game.
it was.
It was.
It was.
a good game.
You had something, Alicia?
I really don't. I'm happy the underdog win.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But getting into it, you know, the Patriots are butthurt. The fans are butthurt. And as a Jets fan in their division, I don't care not one bit. But you wanted to talk about the halftime show.
Yeah, so there was some controversy surrounding the halftime show. As you know, Justin Timberlake performed. It wasn't one of his best performances, and I'm actually a Justin Timberlake fan. He has a lot of hits.
You liked NSYNC.
No, well, yeah, NSYNC was cool. I ain't no problem with NSYNC. I like
You
their
liked
music.
NSYNC.
However,
You liked NSYNC.
so you know, in prior years in Super Bowl, Justin Timberlake performed with Janet Jackson, and we had the infamous Nipplegate, where he
Yes, Lord.
he ripped off
Yes, Lord.
a pasty that was on her breast, and you know, exposed her breast on national TV. There was like FCC fines. She wasn't allowed to perform at the Grammys that year or something. Like, she had to sit it out. They wouldn't extend the invitation to her. And she pretty much caught all the flack. However, Justin Timberlake did not share that equally. And he even did an interview himself where he, you know, pretty much said that, you know, it kind of highlights how we perceive women in this country and minority women in this country. By his admission, he felt bad about it. So a lot of
He
people
felt
felt
bad
like
about
he
taking
should
this
not
year's
have
check.
been allowed to perform
He sure didn't.
for the Super Bowl.
He should have brought on stage.
And then it seemed kind of rushed
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, I almost cried with the Prince dedication, because y'all know how I feel about Prince.
I didn't know, but we're gonna
what
have a
I
show
did-
about that.
Now,
That's
his
fine.
family had a big controversy. He
Because
did
he dissed
not.
Prince.
He did not.
Prince just him, and he responded.
Well,
He dissed Prince.
wait a minute. Excuse me, Diamond K. Can you elaborate?
Justin
what happened?
Timberlake dissed Prince.
No,
He did. He dissed Prince.
Prince dissed. So Diamond,
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Okay, so to be clear, Prince during one of the award
Yes.
shows, I think in 2006,
Yep.
through first of all, y'all know how Prince,
Prince is a shady
y'all know how
person.
Prince will throw
Shady.
stuff out there.
Prince is
Yeah.
amazing. That's what he was.
But he's
Like
talented,
Quincy Jones? He
and
throw it out there like Quincy
yes,
Jones?
and he's an
We-
elder
we
statesman,
we
so
gonna get to
he would
Quincy.
just kind
We
of
gonna
throw
talk
stuff
about
out there. So this is during the time when "Sexy Back" was a hot song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Prince said to people that think they bringing sexy back, sexy never left. And he said that in the award
Pow
show.
pow.
So that was just like,
he was the
okay.
king of
But
shady.
Justin Timberlake,
Now, Justin
as a
Timberlake
young bull,
responded-
shouldn't have said nothing.
True. He
Hmm.
responded a year later
hate
in
that.
a song. He said, a few
A year
words.
later?
It was a
In
year
a
later.
song.
He was still butthurt a year later.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's when he got back in the studio.
Yeah, I don't remember none of
So that's what.
Yep.
But then, like I said, it was a minor thing. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like they had a long-standing
But
beef.
let me ask
It
you
was
this.
just that.
Let me ask you this: if Prince was alive
He'd have died.
and they told him the person that would be doing your tribute,
Okay, let's
Was
go.
Well,
Justin
wait a minute, hold on, no, no, no,
Let's go
no.
back. Look,
But
before
hold
you
up,
go-
wait a
before you
minute.
go there, that's not
Wait
even
a
how it
minute.
happened. That's not
But
even
no,
how
but
it
he
here,
would've
here's
did
the
the
thing.
tribute?
They did the
Prince
tribute.
would've been like,
the
hell
main,
no.
The main reason the tribute was
Right.
done not only because this is
It was
after
in Minnesota.
he died, but it was in Minnesota. How
But
could you
let's-
not do
Sheila
something
E.
honoring
wasn't on
Prince?
stage.
Hold on.
No.
Let me tell you how that came about. I am a Prince historian. That's first.
God,
That's first. But let me tell you how it went about. It's true. He was in Minneapolis, so it makes sense. Just like anybody, you go to the hometown boy. Just like when DJs come town, they say, "What records are hitting here?" Like I need to know what's
so
the
Timberlake
neighborhoods.
from
What's the
Minnesota.
Have a
I'm
Super
just saying,
Bowl,
whenever
not
you go
say
to a
nothing
city
about
that's
Prince
not your
in
city,
Minneapolis.
you need to find out what moves the people in that city.
Right.
Prince is an icon in that city, so
Of
that's
the
naturally
world.
okay. But we talking about
Even though
Oh, let
we
me finish.
go ahead, I'm gonna let
He
you
has
finish.
an album coming out.
Yes.
he did a listening party
a country
at Paisley
album.
Park. It's not country. He did a listening party at Paisley Park, which is Prince's
Hometown.
studio,
His studio,
and
right.
home is where he passed away at. Prince's sister is running the estate, Tika. Tika
Greenlighted
asked
it?
Tika greenlight. It was Tika's idea for the song to even happen, the incorporation of it.
Okay.
He was just paying homage by doing the release there. I mean, doing his listening party there. She suggested that part.
That
It was
Justin
added to
Timberlake.
the show. That's it. That's why I'm saying it kind of seems jumbled in. Like it was added to the show on behest of Tika, who's in charge of the estate, and there was. People when they leaked it, they said it was a hologram.
Right, the
It
rumor
wasn't
was it was a hologram that
It was
of
just Prince on the screen, and to me, it
But
was
he
done
was
respectfully.
he was against that. He never wanted
He
any
was against
type of anything
holograms.
in his image to be done. post-mortem.
Holograms, but that's just showing the video on the
Right,
screen. That's not,
right.
you know what I mean. And so
I didn't see anything wrong with
Well,
that.
Sheila E. did perform earlier, I believe, at the Super Bowl.
Sheila E.
and-
shouldn't have been there. I think
What?
that Sheila E. It wasn't about Sheila E.
I mean, it was.
she's a part of
NSYNC
the
was the ones
sound.
that got bumped out because of the
She's
Prince
a part of the
tribute.
sound.
But let me tell you,
NSYNC is the ones
I
that should
was
be mad.
so touched with the lighting of the city and the Prince. song.
That was hot.
That was so dope. I'm still
That
trying to
was
figure out
hot.
how they did that.
I was
that
kind
It
of
was
drunk.
so nice.
That
I was
I
kinda
could
drunk.
imagine so, but it
And the
was
city
so
chipped
beautiful.
in on that.
I missed
It
it. I was
was
kind of
so
So
drunk.
how's it disrespect? I don't see. You know what I mean? And it's not like it wasn't like 50
But
Cent and Ja
okay,
Rule.
okay,
It
hold on,
wasn't like that.
hold on. I gotta stop you though.
Y'all didn't even know about the
his
beef,
sister asked him.
quote unquote.
No, a lot of people did. Prince knew about
I
it.
didn't know about
It wasn't a beef.
Prince knew about it.
It wasn't a beef. Prince took an exception to the word to somebody saying
But
sexy
Prince,
back.
you never answered my question. Would
There ain't a
Prince
beef.
have wanted him to do it?
I would say
Probably
No.
not.
I'm going to say that Prince performed at the halftime show 2007. I think that Prince probably would have got on stage with him.
That was the best
Wrong.
halftime show ever.
It ain't no
Wrong.
big deal. It ain't no big deal.
That
Wrong.
was the best one.
All
I
right,
can't think of
all
one.
He
right.
had major beef with artists and squashed it. That wasn't
Not Michael Jackson. I'm just letting you know we're gonna have a speakeasy Michael Jackson versus Prince show.
We can do that.
It's all right.
I'm with it.
It's fine.
I'm
I'm
with
just letting you know I'm Team Mike.
I'm saying
It's all
Prince.
good. It ain't no draw. We're not getting into that. But on top of that,
We ain't
though,
gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. All
you
right.
ain't gonna go there. But on top of that, though, just a quick highlight: the Tory Smith who played for the Ravens at one point, got 2 rings now.
And I'm very proud.
The city is happy for him.
Yeah, everybody seems to be happy.
They more happy for him than Ray Lewis going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right, you don't even hear nobody really talking about it for real.
Because it's hard to kind of talk about. To me, Ray is one of my favorite players. I played the game. I love the way Ray played. I say he's the best middle linebacker.
He's deserving.
Period.
He's deserving.
Hands down. But
He's
the
deserving.
stuff that he's done
He just did
recently
too
has been a
much.
little bit
Yeah, he was just
rough.
doing
However, but him playing that position, he definitely deserves the accolades that he's
Definitely.
getting now. So you can't deny that.
Definitely, and he adopted this, city. Being a small country boy from the back roads of Florida. My coach in college was his area coach in his area, and talked about him all the time. And for him to come to a big city like this, because a lot of boys from Florida come places, and if they're not from Miami to the big city, they go right back home. They would not invest here. So for Ray to have done nonprofit work, to have businesses here, that ain't like them. They like, we going back home. We good. It's cold here in the winter anyway. I'm good. You know what I mean? So but Ray, you kind of making people choose. But Torrey Smith said, we're not going to the White House.
I loved his interview that he did.
I loved it
He
too.
was very articulate. He stood his ground. Torrey Smith, saying
Torrey
that
Smith.
he would not be attending the White House.
Does not support Trump. He basically put it in layman's terms, saying, if I don't like what the person is associated with, I don't want to be around them.
And that's his right.
So if Donald Trump came down, if Donald Trump and the White House extended an invitation and said, we want to honor black businesses for Black History Month, please come out and join us in our celebration. Who's going?
I'm going.
I'm going.
I'm
You
going.
I'm going.
I'm going.
You're not going, Mike?
I'm going.
Diamond K, you going?
Nah.
You're not
I'm
going.
not going.
I'm
You going,
going.
Alicia?
I'll promote that I'm not.
I'm
You not know? You kind of on the fence?
Yeah, I'll promote I'm not going. I'll take
You on the
that.
fence?
That's a good question.
I'm on the fence, and I'm telling you why I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence, one, because as an entrepreneur, you have to have that mindset of
It's business.
it's business.
Yeah.
But you're also put in a position where you have the ability to do more. And if we are social entrepreneurs who are trying to make change, just our picture, who will cause people to look at us and to try to find out more about us, helps bring about awareness about what we're trying to do, then it's a win. But it's also the platform of, look, bro, you need to get your stuff together.
Did you see what happened with Steve Harvey?
I'm about to say,
Well,
let's
he-
look at this. We got Chrisette Michelle,
Did you see what happened?
Steve
I
Harvey.
see what happened.
Ray
and I
Lewis.
didn't say I was
Did you?
going.
Should we go down the list?
No, okay, and so
Is
So you
that-
wanna-
is
you
that
wanna
what
get on that
really
line?
wanna do?
that is a good thing. Like Chris
That was
probably
good.
needed the check.
Kanye.
She needed the check.
She needed the check.
She tried to make it seem like, oh,
She
I'm
did.
trying to bridge this divide.
But do you see what happened to them?
I
And then
see
they,
what
and
happened.
then
you-
they
to her.
shorted her. She didn't even get all the money she was
But my
promised.
problem with that,
That's
and
what happens when you wanna
this is
deal with
about to
people
be
like
a real
that.
big term. My problem with that is black people wrote her off.
Right.
Because
She wrote herself off.
because she went and she did what she did.
Mm-hmm.
But as a people, we aren't doing anything
To support her.
Not just to support her, but when it's black on black crime, we're not going against each other trying to stand up for that.
Oh my goodness, Alicia.
We can't.
Can
We can't say that.
So
Well, we
Alicia.
I
actually
just
are. It's
feel
people out
like
here that
there's a
actually are.
two-way street, and
I absolutely loathe that term.
we have to
It is true though.
Black on black crime.
It is
we
true.
have
hate
to take accountability for all sides of the spectrum.
Absolutely. I
And
agree with that.
we can't choose when we just want to say, "Oh, we taking your black card,"
Mm-hmm.
when we not holding our card
Let
up.
me
So what about
let me-
Omarosa?
Let me interject real quick. What about R. Kelly? No. Let me say something. It ain't no. Here's the point. Here's the point I'm gonna make. Right. I love all R. Kelly's music. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But for over 20 plus years, he's been connected to pedophilia. Right.
Slow down.
Pedophilia.
20 years?
Since Aaliyah.
Yeah, since Aaliyah. So it
Okay,
has been some
Aaliyah.
20
No. I'm gonna
years.
stop you.
So
I'm
I'm
not
saying
gonna let you
Aaliyah-
interject.
No, I'm saying
What I'm
Aaliyah
saying is
and
this.
the one girl is Aaliyah and the girl.
Bro,
that's
it's
on
been
the
at least
videotape.
15.
All
It's
it
been at
takes
least
is
We don't know
15.
when that tape
It's
was
been at
found.
least 15
All
years.
it takes is
Here's my
one.
point.
We don't need more.
Here's my point.
One
I'm
is
not
enough.
knocking him. What I'm saying is, now I
People
don't
still
all the
buy
way
his
agree to
music.
her point, But at some point, as black people, right? Now, I've also been on record to say you don't always have to agree with me, which doesn't mean you can't support me. If I don't agree with you, don't mean I can't support the good things that you're doing. Right? But at the same time, we can't be up in arms about one thing, but we still sell out shows for R. Kelly. So there's still people out here that be like, I don't like people that mess with young girls, but
They be front row.
Try to say it.
I didn't try.
I mean,
did.
I think more to it. Like, there's more to it. So somebody has to represent black people when it comes to this administration. Now, granted, that's what the Congressional Black Caucus is supposed to do. So as black people, are we supporting our black leaders? Are we doing that?
Our
And
black
so-
leaders really about us, though.
Are they?
They're not.
I wouldn't say everybody
lot of
loves
them
We have,
Auntie
are not.
but we have
Maxine.
such a
Everybody loves Auntie Maxine.
we have such a mistrust with political figures. Period.
We have
There's
a
no
reason
faith
to.
in the political figures that we have. So
We have a
we're not
reason
gonna
to.
get
But
it.
at the point,
Yeah, we do. We absolutely
the
do.
point is somebody has to be that
The cycle got to
divide.
it's got to break the cycle.
And
somewhere.
so if
Yes,
Chrisette was trying to do that through her music,
You think she-
because if you think about it, back in the day, who would have ever thought a black girl would have been singing at the White House? Period. And so when you think about the,
for 8 years, and there's been plenty more before her.
but the historicalness,
Plenty more
of it-
black ladies in the White House.
I'm just saying.
What,
like-
singing at the
like-
White House? I mean, we
can't-
yeah, it's not like she was one of the first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Michelle.
I'm just saying, like,
Michelle
The
sounds
only-
look like a
only-
Chris
the
Michelle
only
fan.
issue I
She
had
doesn't
with
like you. Look like a Cassette Michelle.
the
fan.
only issue I
She is.
have
Like a
with
Christmas
you know the black community is when you do something that is not in line with quote unquote your blackness, we take
Yes.
we discard you.
As we
Right.
should.
And
We
that's
all
not
say the
right.
same thing.
Should.
No,
we?
that's not. I don't
ain't
think
nobody
that's right.
saying nothing about all them black men who dating these Kardashians. Like, we gonna leave that one alone.
That's
Yes.
not. I don't think that's.
So we
that's
gonna leave
not the
that one
same
alone.
thing.
How is
That
it
ain't
not the same thing?
I wasn't even gonna talk about
No.
that.
Okay.
Like, you clearly see a downfall.
no, but see,
What's up, y'all? What y'all think?
y'all understand. It's different.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Wait a
gonna-
minute.
I'm
Let me
gonna digress that
let me
way.
get the brothers back in on this. Go ahead, brother. You got some opinions. Go ahead,
I
brother.
mean, what was your question?
I specifically
No. Well,
She asked a question.
she said we
What
not
about
saying
the
nothing
brothers?
about the brothers dating the Kardashians.
I guess you mean outside the race.
Kanye, yeah, she's virtually
She
saying
means
outside
outside
the
the
We
race.
were talking about
Interracial
revoking
dating.
black cards.
Yeah.
And I was saying we.
So you think
aren't
somebody
taking
should
these
get
black men's
their black card?
cards.
You think somebody should get their black card taken for dating outside their culture?
No.
No, I specifically said a name.
The Kardashians. Well, shit,
Well,
I'll
look at
take
that
Tristan.
history.
Because
I'm
they
taking
threw
Tristan
their
Thompson's
name.
black card.
Y'all
Taking
can't-
Kanye shit too.
y'all can't- The
Why not?
Kardashian, between like 3 of them Kardashians, they didn't date like 100 guys. And they
Tick,
like
Tiger,
like
gone.
successful men.
Ray J,
Y'all
gone.
can't take all their cars. All
I'm
them ball
down with
players,
it.
All they did
them
was take
ball
their
players
money.
They didn't date it. All them rappers they didn't date it. Come
And
on,
now
man.
they all getting big.
No.
Yo, it's
I
it's
feel-
only about a list of 50. We can take their
I
card.
feel like that
I think
topic could be a show
Kevin had
all
50
by
herself.
itself.
Yes,
Kim
very
had
true.
50 herself. Not counting the drug deals. I'm just saying
Listen.
strictly on the
The ones that we know. Ones that we know, it's only been 3.
Listen, a guy, we can date outside the race. Women can date outside the race. That don't mean that's not a removal of your card. Just 'cause
She's
you
talking
slept
about
with somebody,
Kardashians.
that's- you know what I mean?
She's
That
talking
ain't-
about
I mean,
Kardashians. She's bent on the Kardashians.
That's not a removal of your card. I'm
I think
sorry.
you should be removed of your card.
Game
with the
dated like
Kardashians.
3 of them.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He did.
He did.
Which one?
Kim.
He dated them or did he
He
smash?
named
Has
him.
Smash.
Did
Aren't
name
his
him.
kids by black women though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying we.
So
we
what
can
do you?
smash.
Damn, y'all
Some
are.
people
Woo.
smash.
I'm just.
Woo.
Smash.
And you know, I
Whoa.
read something the other day, and it
Whoa.
basically said.
Where did you read it
And
from?
I'm not-
Before you say it, what is it?
Yeah, let's
He's very big on the
I'm
source.
not even about to do
He's
stats.
very big on the source.
Where did it come
You
from?
need to
It
have-
We need
resonated with
footnotes.
me in the sense.
Where did it
of-
come from?
It talked about how white women. It was actually referring to the movie. What's the one Taraji just did when they were engineers?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. So it was referring.
Great fucking movie.
Amazing movie.
was
It
a
was
great
referring
movie.
to how white
should watch
women
Yeah.
have
You
some
should
type
watch
of
it. Yeah, you got
feeling
to.
about black women.
No doubt.
That was
And
definitely
so the
doubt.
article was saying how white women have mixed feelings when it comes to black women, but they love our men. But yet it takes a black woman and a black man to make another black man.
Right. But it's
And
all the
so
same.
the very thing that you love, you hate the person who is required to make them.
Oh, wow.
I agree to
They just
disagree.
jealous. They
I
just
agree to
jealous.
disagree.
They just jealous
I-
of black
yeah.
women's physical features, and they try to
Okay.
emulate them. They really think that black women are beautiful, and they want to be more like that. So they're just jealous.
Do you
That's
have
all.
something, brother, on that before I say anything?
No, I'm still tuning in.
So, so I
In the crossfire.
yeah, I agree to disagree with that, right? I believe that as white men, and I'm talking history. I'm not talking about every white person, every white male, every Caucasian male, every Caucasian female. Historically, that spectrum of the culture of the human population has feared and not understood us and has put us in different pockets. I see it in the professional level where I've seen Caucasian women literally systemically marginalize the black woman. You know what I'm saying? And even more workspace, I'm talking right now. And even more the black male. So it's like, I won't say that it's just that it takes the black man and the black woman, because as a black male, whether you have a black daddy, whether you have a black mama or a white mama, if you have a little bit of black in you, you a target, period. Now, what we've always said as a history was that white men are at the forefront of this destruction and this harshness and this and everything. But when you look at it, right, historically, Emmett Till, the town of Rosewood, Tulsa bombing, what was at the center of that? A white woman claiming rape.
Yeah.
So I think equally, if you're going to talk about damage to our culture and our people, they're both responsible. And I think that if you're a product of an interracial situation, it is what it is. You're still going to feel it regardless. So you can't blame the byproduct of whatever it was. That's all I had to disagree with what you said. Because you're going to be black. If you got one half of you black,
When you
you're
talk
black.
about children, but she's talking specifically a black male being with a white woman.
No, and I got that piece. I'm not, but see, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that
How do we
men.
preserve our race if we keep doing
Here's the other.
interracial?
Here's the other thing,
just-
though. But here's the
and
other
I'm
thing.
not against interracial
but
dating at all.
Here's the other
If
thing.
there's a white man who
But-
wants to date me, hey.
But here's the other
But-
thing that you fail to realize, and that women fail to always highlight is, right? As men, we always take the brunt of things because we talk about this on our show all the time. Relationship trauma. A lot of men today are getting blamed for things they didn't even do because the black male stigma and the issues run so deep. But we get it because we date
You know what
a
that's
white
called?
woman. But wait, they talk about so many black male celebrities with white women, but when the black sister does it, get him, girl. Yeah. I don't even. Eve came up on a billionaire.
He's
A
a
whole
billionaire.
And nothing,
billionaire.
nothing,
Billionaire.
nothing but praises.
He's a
Nothing
billionaire.
but praises. Janet Jackson, when she went to the guy she went to, who eventually came out to say
He was
that
Arabic?
he was treating her like trash.
He was Arabic, right?
Nah, he was in between the culture of being possibly Spain kind of.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? It ain't black. He didn't identify himself as black. We know that. But here's the thing, right? When y'all do it, oh yeah, go ahead, girl. You done came up. These dudes ain't shit. But when we do it,
No.
you blame the entire
So
existence.
this is where I
It's the
want
truth.
to play devil's advocate.
It's the truth.
So that very well may
What
be
happened,
true.
Diamond K?
One, it happens.
say it again.
it-
Say it again. That
it
very well
hel-
may be what?
It happens at a lower rate.
What's the, what,
And
you're
the
giving me
issue-
anecdotal information.
The issue that
You give
I
me anecdotal
personally
information.
have- the issue that I
We didn't
personally have
present
with
anecdotal
it
information.
is that you often
She's doing it right
hear-
now.
You often hear black men say, "I won't date a black woman."
But that's because
And so we as black women tend to date outside of our race,
First of
not
all.
because we want
First
to,
of all.
but it's because
First of all.
Off of that one person?
somebody's telling us
exactly.
we ain't
Well, how
trying to
many
be
black?
off the
Well,
show.
Exactly.
just off of that one person?
Exactly.
Not just one person.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
You can't even see. Here's the mythical. Here's the
Gentlemen, leaving you out on
mythological.
the island by yourself.
Here's the mythological
Yeah.
issue.
She's doing a great
Here's
job.
the mythological issue. They may or may not hear one guy say that and they taking it and run with it.
ran it
But
somewhere.
how many black women are thinking that? But we don't. Y'all don't face that pressure. Black men, when you see all of these guys that are in a lot of your favorite shows, when they hit the red carpet, you only see them get talked about. When Halle Berry did this in the 90s, when she said she was done with black dudes, nobody said nothing.
I'm sorry. Is
But
any
at
women
what
on the
rate?
panel?
Again.
Any women
At
here?
what rate?
Is this thing?
Listen,
Again, at what rate? You see more black women
You ain't
with
got the
white
stats.
women than you,
You ain't
do
got the
black
stats
women
because
with
if
white
you want
men.
the stats, if you want the stats, I'm
Please show
gonna
me
let
some
Jen
stats.
talk, but I'm gonna give you the
Show me
stats.
some stats.
Holla at me. Go ahead.
Show me some stats.
I'm kind of on the opposing end. I feel like I don't care what race you are. If that's the person you want to date, then that's who you should be with. Period.
I'm all for it.
No, we,
Fine,
we
but
all-
don't
we
blame.
understand that.
But
I agree with that, but do not blame
I
us.
feel like-
Do not blame the black man.
I don't blame
I don't-
anybody.
You are.
But don't blame us when you
I'm
say
not
I'm sick of
blaming
men.
any-
You
can't
are.
help
You know what?
who you
I
love.
got an
You cannot
analogy
help
for
who
that.
you love.
I
And
got an
so
analogy.
You
if
you
the
are.
love you have is for an Indian or Arabic or
Right.
Hear
a
him out.
white woman,
Hear him
love
out.
her.
Hear him out. He's
Love
not
her.
arguing that. Hear him out.
I've heard black men who date outside their race say, I tried to date black women. Black women didn't find me appealing. They didn't think I was attractive. I tried to, but they weren't kind of feeling me. I've seen black men say that.
That's because
Well, I mean,
They're
that's
not-
just that.
they don't believe in
person's-
themselves.
I mean,
You
it's
gotta
just
believe
these
in yourself
people's
first.
perspective, but
Most of the guys that I've
We-
heard
I'm gonna
say
come back
that
to you, brother.
Strictly is on an attitude level. They feel as though they couldn't control the woman, or the woman gave them too much stuff, and that's usually why they date outside the race. I haven't heard them say that she didn't find me attractive.
So
Black
hold
women don't find me
hold that
I
thought.
never
Go.
heard that one.
You had a great point in the first place where you once said, don't
blame us.
blame us
Don't
for
blame
people
us.
loving who they love.
Yeah, don't blame us. If he hurt you, okay,
He hurt you. We
move on.
not
Don't-
all.
don't-
Not all
are you
of them,
mad?
but
Are
just him.
Are you mad at the bee that stung you, or the person that tried to grab your hand after the bee stung you?
Ooh. Ooh.
But hold up, I be mad at all bees, like all of them together. I'm mad at all.
Ooh.
Of one sting me, I'm like, I don't mess with no bee.
And
But
then- and
but
then-
that
and
That
then-
ain't a good analogy.
Yes, it is, and I'm gonna tell you why.
That's not a good analogy.
And I'm gonna tell you why. If I hurt you, right? Are you gonna be mad at all men? Right? And then Chris try to date you. You gonna be mad at him too? You gotta let that go. He trying to grab your hand to help you and cure that thing.
What I say,
But this
what
isn't
I
a
do
black
You see what I'm
women
saying?
thing. This is for both sides because that
We're talking
applies
about this
to
But
subject
that's
specifically.
hold up, but that's what
that
he's
applies
saying.
to both sides.
That's
Are
what
you
he's
mad at the
saying.
bee that stung you or the person that's grabbing your
So
hand?
wait a minute, let me take a pause because this actually completely ties into our topic for this evening,
But that's what he was saying though.
which is black love, dating, relationships, and marriage.
Let's talk about it.
So
I've been all in.
Oh no.
All in
we
the
have
bug.
Valentine's Day coming up.
That's
Yes.
right.
Before you go there, what's so funny Wednesday? Valentine's Day comedy show.
Yeah, yeah.
Hosted by Ty Davis.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
On Valentine's
Ty.
Day, of course. How can they get tickets?
Ty,
for that?
what up, baby?
How can they get tickets?
Just
Listen.
go to Eventbrite. Just type in "What's So Funny" and it'll pop up. We made it real easy for you guys. You can get single tickets, couple tickets, and if you follow us, we get early bird tickets for 4 weeks last month. We sold a lot of tickets for early bird tickets, so we have a limited amount of tickets left, general admission tickets. So please get your tickets now, or you're going to have to wait till the next show.
And not only that, I gotta highlight this because this is one in a million at a comedy show. Okay,
Talk about you.
so for $35, right? So I go down to Comedy Factory. Well, I haven't been in a while, but if I go down to Comedy Factory, it's about maybe 40, maybe at the cheapest 40 for two people, maybe might be much more than that. But you're talking about $60.
Then it's a 2-drink minimum.
and the
Two.
truth.
I didn't even get there. Let me cook. I'm cooking.
Oh, you
I'm
bring it-
cooking
you bring
because
it?
you know,
Okay, okay.
because you know I'm gonna do 2 drinks by myself. So I'm cooking, right? So I do the 2-drink minimum. I'm already at 70, about 80. Then I gotta buy the food that was kind of like
That's
warmed
not that
up a
great.
little bit. You know what I mean? Put a little love and
not really
care
great.
on the ShopRite frozen bag type stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You getting right now $60 with a meal and a beverage?
Yep. And entertainment. You get some of the best Baltimore comedians.
There it is. Larry Lancaster is funny as hell. And Ty is funny as hell.
Listen,
she
Snow-
can hold a show by a damn
Snow
self.
and D-Lo,
I never seen them.
each one of them by themselves.
I might have
but
seen
the
them.
two
I
of
don't
them
remember their
together,
names.
I can't.
This is crazy. I mean,
can't
this is
wait.
major. This is major. I might need to make something happen
You said
I think
the
you
cougar.
should.
Did you say you was the cougar?
Cougar Whisperer, yes.
in my past life. My past life. Ty knows this. Ty knows this. Okay. Ty knows what's up. She knows what's up. She knows
The
very
Cougar
well.
Whisperer.
She
Oh
knows
my
very
goodness.
well.
This is-
She Ty
this is
told
interesting.
Ty
I
told
know-
me she was scared of me
I've known you for years. And
Put it on record.
I've never heard you mention this.
because I can't tell everybody. But now that I'm retired, you know what I'm saying, I'm good. I could talk about the past.
That's
now that I'm
quite
good.
interesting.
You know
Okay.
what I'm talking about?
So
Ty knows what's up.
we talking about Black Love, celebrating Valentine's Day.
Yes.
I know that when we talk, especially when we were doing Speak Easy at the bar forum, where we had, it was really like the males against the females. It would be an all out
Drag out.
verbal bashing of each other. But however, we always came to a level of understanding by the end of the night. And we always talk about how there's such a disconnect and a discord between black women and black men in relationships.
But what about the successful ones?
So there are some.
You
There
talk
are
about
some.
the negative so much.
But wait a
What
minute,
about the happy couples?
I'm snowballing. Give me a
okay,
minute.
okay.
So we're talking about Black love
Mm-hmm.
and Valentine's Day. You know, Valentine's Day is the day of love, the day when you're supposed to express your love to others. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic love. It could be the love of family, love of friends. But you know, just wanted to get your views on Valentine's Day because some people don't like to celebrate it. They're not for it at all. And some people like relish in it. They look forward to it. So, to our guests, how do you feel about Valentine's Day? Let's start with Alicia. Because she's smiling.
To the men first.
No.
Ladies are first. We're gentlemen.
She was over here
Ladies
smiling,
first.
so I felt like she already had a thought.
Are you single?
Are you
Am
single?
I am.
Well, why you gotta? I asked the question. Why you gotta ask yourself the question?
I am.
That's how you know somebody really. You got somebody you seeing.
So
Let
what
me
it- what do you
say
got?
it.
Usually when they ask the question, they
Yeah,
got
hell yeah. Huh?
You know
Who's
what women
asking?
is now.
Who's
Let's
asking?
wanna talk about
let
it.
Let me say something. Let me say something
ahead
to the
now.
fellas, man. Alicia is a throwback lady. She will cook, write your grant, take your kid to the barbershop or get their hair braided,
With this black girl
manage
magic,
your books,
yes.
be in public,
Sprinkle it
and
all over.
listen, man. She's a pain in my ass, but you know I gotta big her up, man. You know if I need something, I'll be like, yo, Leash.
She got you covered.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, she's single.
Got
They
your back.
better get at her. You better get at her. Just telling you.
So what are your thoughts on Valentine's Day?
I just you know,
She holding
as
out
one of
for
those
somebody.
Girly girls, you just love.
Right.
And so you want to feel special, but if you can someone can only make you feel special on one day, then what are you really doing? And so for me, when in a relationship, I believe in showing love and my appreciation and making whomever I'm with feel special all the time.
Period.
And so one day out of the year does not really appeal to me because, like I said, if that's the only day that you're going to send me flowers to work or buy me my favorite chocolate, then
It's
we ain't
a
connected
bigger
somewhere.
it's a bigger problem.
Right. So I love and you know, I'm all for going out to dinner and all that good stuff, but it doesn't if I don't have a male companion on Valentine's Day, I'm not gonna die. Cause I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna go wherever I
And you
want to
gonna go to this
go.
comedy
That's
show.
what I'm talking about.
Myself.
And you gonna go to this
Then you
comedy
gonna
show.
sell some
And then that's when you go to this
flowers. I'm
comedy
gonna
show
be
and get
good.
some good laughs.
And you gonna
in.
go to this
So,
comedy show.
That's great.
I'm
like
gonna
it.
go
Can I
to
say
this
something?
comedy show. Yes.
Hold-
Boom,
Anybody
we got
want to
tickets.
Wait a
right
minute.
there.
Diamond
I'm
K,
gonna
you
buy
wanna
it
talk?
for her. I'm gonna buy it for her.
I need to say something.
Here we got
It
Diamond
really-
K interjecting.
It really grinds my gears
Uh-oh.
when I hear that response.
Wait a minute.
When I hear the response of, well, if I gotta only have one day to for somebody to do that to me, whenever people say that, variations of what you said, it's frustrating to me because it's a cop out. To me, it's a cop out. Super Bowl is one day, right? does that mean we don't watch football no other day other than that day? No. We watch Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. Okay, we don't watch Super Bowl, right?
Bring it on.
Now,
Okay.
we watch preseason football. We watch regular season football. We watch our home team. We watch other teams.
Talk about
so you
it.
can have Valentine's Day. And that doesn't and do it up, and it doesn't mean that you don't do stuff all other times. Valentine's Day never said
So
just only Valentine's Day. You can't do love no other time.
So I agree with you, right? But what she's saying is,
A lot of people say
let
it, not just her.
me say this because I agree with both points. What she's saying is, and you got to pay attention because there's a silver lining or there's an undertone in both of what they're saying. You're absolutely correct because I agree with you and I agree with her. But it's like if you ain't doing this on Valentine's Day and the other 364 days,
Keyword
then there's
is
a problem,
and.
and that
If
is a
me and her-
problem.
If me and her in a relationship, right?
Right.
And we can do something for Valentine's Day. That doesn't mean that March 15th we ain't gonna do nothing or no other day.
But
But there's some
But
who-
you gotta.
Well, why would we be in a
But
relationship
see,
and
here's
not do Valentine's
here's the
Day?
caveat, Diamond K. She's speaking from her experience and from her anecdotal research that she gathers from other people.
Look at you.
And there are people out here.
DJ.
There are people out here with people that have been with people for 11, 12 years. I got them in my family that are like, yo, I'm like, bro, when are you gonna marry her? Never. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, my bad, cuz. But here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you got people out here, and see, and when we talk about this, and see, we got a real good group in the room. We got a lot of positive people doing the right thing, whatever it is. I mean, I mean, I don't always do the right thing. I know that, but a lot of things I do okay. We got a lot of people doing okay and the right things in here. So I think a mix of what you're saying is, she's saying I'm not too big on Valentine's Day because I'm looking at the whole picture. But if you do that, cool. And what Don McKay is saying is you don't have to be negative about it. Do it up on Valentine's Day, but do it up on March 15th as well. But there are some people that can't do either one.
Why
That's
you
a
keep
fact.
saying March? You know what? Never mind. Go
I don't
ahead.
know.
I'm saying,
You went a month out.
Another month, just somewhere another time.
Okay.
But go to the
And
panel.
like I want to say, like if you from what EJ just said, like there are some people who can't do it, but then there are some women who will make men feel bad because they didn't do something for them. That's
true.
And
Preach.
that's where it's wrong.
But then you know that question
Okay.
is,
That's where it's wrong.
did you tell me? Did we talk about it? Are you a big holiday person?
Communication.
I am
Did we
not.
communicate about that?
Yeah.
Because
Dropping
me, I'm not a
jewels.
big holiday person.
Dropping jewels.
Me either.
You know, I'm not a big holiday person. So in the beginning, that's something we need to talk about.
Right.
Are you?
That is, and I
oh,
agree.
do you want this big
But
ring
how
when you
many
think?
people are really like mature in their relationship?
We don't know. We
to
can only
really
talk
do
about
that?
us. We don't know about
Exactly.
that.
I'm very mature.
So are you a big? So let's
If
talk
you
about.
don't like-
Are you a big
if you
holiday
don't
person?
like-
Do
Wait a
you
minute,
need somebody
wait a
to?
minute.
Holiday. I'm a big birthday person. Like I believe in celebrating the birth of somebody that is special to me. So we can trade off. If you don't want to do Valentine's, but we want to do birthdays, boo, we will do your birthday.
So you communicate with your partner on that?
Mm-hmm.
In the
I'm
beginning?
telling you right now.
Okay. all right.
I need a horn on that one. I need a horn.
Because what'll happen is that a lot of women don't
She
discuss
told
that.
him.
But because they don't discuss that in the beginning, and you should discuss those type of things in the beginning of your relationship.
Sometimes men don't ask. Us as men don't ask.
And women don't tell either. And they
Hold on,
don't
brother.
ask.
Don't bend just yet.
So-
Don't bend just yet.
So thi-
Don't bend just yet. He telling the truth, though.
here's my thing. This is one
It is
thing
the
I
truth.
don't get. It's certain days where I purposely don't go on social media because people annoy me. Valentine's Day is one of those days. So you have
Is that
people
because you-
who are so extremely bitter, and they find something wrong with rainbows, Care Bears, and butterflies.
And leprechauns.
So you know they
They happy
have an
at the beat that
issue
stung, though. They
with
mad at-
anything, and a lot of people say, "Well, you don't know what the history of Valentine's Day is." I absolutely do know what the history of Valentine's Day is. But my thing is, why would you have an issue with anybody spreading or showing love in any capacity when we need it so desperately. What is wrong with that? What is the problem with you saying I love you to your friend, your mom, your homeboy, whoever, your daughter, whoever that is in your life for that one day? What is the problem with it being highlighted that day? No one is discounting the other 364 days. But this one particular day, maybe you go a little bit extra to show your love and do something special. Why is that such a problem?
They bitter.
Anybody?
Bitter.
Better. Go ahead, brother. Elaborate.
I mean, yeah, that's
They
what
bitter.
it seems like.
You know,
It's
anger.
bitter.
Did you know anger turn into bitterness after a while?
Yes. Go.
Did you
Talk
know
about
that?
I wasn't
If
aware.
you're angry at that bee that stung you,
Talk about it, Mike.
it. You're
gonna be
angry
bitter.
at that bee
after a while,
that stung you.
You got a point.
okay? So anger turns into bitterness. So unless you're not bitter, like I'm okay, I'm fine.
A lot of
So
people
you gotta
don't
be
know something
fine.
wrong with them anyway, though.
Then that's when they need to go talk to Jennifer. Go see
Straight up,
Jennifer.
yeah, right,
Then-
right.
Hey, then that's when you need to go talk to her if you don't know what's wrong with you.
A lot of people don't know how to deal with hurt.
Right. So,
And so,
that was one of that's
just
one of
get
the
in cycles.
topics. That was another one of the topics. Hurt people, and how do we stop this cycle? So, you know, we're talking about love and relationships and dating. I saw a clip, and I think I posted it. Where a minister was giving a sermon. He was rather young, and he was talking about dating with a purpose. And even once you get into a relationship, how you maintain that relationship, and what are you looking forward to? What are you doing in this relationship? Are you just trying to occupy your time, or are you doing this, you know, with an end goal? And even once you do, you know, venture off into marriage, how do you, you know, stay in love? How do you keep the marriage going? And he made some really valid points.
What's
that
one
I
of the points
thought.
that he made? I can tell you if it works or not.
Well, on the marriage part, he said you should never stop dating.
That's
Even though
correct.
You're married,
That
you
is
should
true.
always continue dating.
Very true.
That is true.
In the relationship part, he said, you know, you should, you know, be preparing yourself for marriage if that's what you want. If not, then that's not what you need to
So
be
let me stop
doing.
you because
Not early.
Wait a minute. He said to tell me what the man said. I'm just
I said
repeating
one.
what the man said.
I said one.
okay?
I said one though.
And then he said when you're dating, he said to date with a purpose. Don't just be out here just lollygagging, just know anybody. I mean, but you know, I mean, we're in the age of Netflix and chill. And
So let me stop you because that is
it's a
that's
lot of women
perfect
like
point.
Netflix and chill.
Me too.
They're okay with that.
some people.
That's a perfect point though.
If you didn't
because-
like it, then you wouldn't do it.
exactly. Me and Alicia were
I
talking.
can't agree with that.
Me and Alicia were talking.
So
right?
are they forced into Netflix and chill?
I didn't say it was being forced, but what
no.
I'm saying, here's how I think we differ with the way women think and the way men think.
Oh man.
Let's do it.
So I'm not speaking for all, and please hear me
Ooh,
out.
I
This
know-
is not an
ooh, I
all
know where she
women, all
going.
men
I know where
type
she's
thing.
Give us a percentage
But
on the women you're
you-
speaking for.
But I can't give it a percentage, but it's more likely than not. I'll put it that way.
More than 50%?
Let's see
Maybe.
what she got to say.
Maybe.
first.
You have women who will. You said you wouldn't do it if there's not something you wanted to do. But if with women, we are looking toward the future. So we feel like, okay,
Netflix and chill
let
might
me
get you to the
let me
future.
lay this groundwork here, and it might grow into this.
Let me
So
say
wait a minute,
this.
let me finish. So right here is might not necessarily where I want it to be, but maybe it'll grow into this. Men, I think that you're there, and you're there because you want to be there, and you might even tell the young lady, "This is where I'm at. This is where I need to be."
So
Y'all
here's the
still
thing.
be like,
so,
we think we can grow.
here's
After
the
we
thing.
done told you
So
it
Here's
ain't
the
happening.
thing. Here's the thing with
Potential
that.
more so than men.
Women typically do that, but they don't always, like anyone else, they don't always want everything that comes with that. Hence the statement where you hear a lot of women say, "Well, why I'm gonna give you married privileges and this ain't no marriage?" And like Alicia said to me off air, what's the point of me as a woman not trying to give you what marriage feels like if we not trying to build like that? See, a lot of women today, you nominally say that you want that because that's what you statistically stereotype, societally feel that's what you need to say. But when it comes down to it, how many women are churchgoers that be like, I want the man to lead, but the moment he be like, nah, babe, I don't think you should get that. You're not my father. You can't tell me what to do. You don't know how to play that quote unquote role where you take a back seat or you compromise or we move as one. A lot, and to y'all credit, it's a lot of brothers out here that you can't just blindly go behind and follow. But if you're messing with somebody that you believe you can't follow, That's your fault for
That was
messing
going to
with
be
him.
my point. Are you dating a man
And-
that you want to lead?
If you're dating a guy that you believe can lead, let him lead when it's his time. But see, a lot of the problem is people don't really want that smoke. They don't want that smoke. You want to be mad. It's like I said this before on the show. It's like the Steven Seagal movie, Mark for Death. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. Everybody want to be married, but they don't want to put in that married work.
To work.
You
It's
want
tough.
to move as one. You want to move as my own. I'm gonna make this decision on my own. Yeah, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna spend this. I'm gonna spend that.
Yeah, I did
but
all
you
that.
got another person behind you.
I did all that.
So where do you think where do you and
Yeah, I
please
did all that.
chime in. Where do you think the disconnect ends? Y'all not talking enough over here.
No, they
I mean, that's because y'all talking a lot. So,
No, they are.
so one of the things that some men learn is you learn to listen and not talk so much.
listen and not talk so much.
So sometimes you gotta listen more than you talk.
Yes,
You can't listen if you talk.
absolutely.
So what was your question?
No, I'm saying
What-
just
what
chime in where you
chime
think
in.
the disconnect lies. You saying
On-
listening and
Well,
not
well, let me-
talking.
let me-
I'm asking you to repeat your
I
question
think-
so I can be
I
clear.
just think people don't know what they want.
I agree.
You know,
That's
so
a
they
part
out
of it
here
as well.
And they just like they dealing with their options that have been presented to them. You know, and they're making the best selection based upon the options that have been presented to them.
When you say they, you talk about men and women, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Talk to
Because
everybody.
women be
Whole-
having options too.
But you gotta know what you want in life. You gotta know who you are. Before you even get in a relationship, you gotta know who you are. Who you giving to somebody.
Yes,
If you don't know who you are, how can you even get in a relationship?
Yes.
Period. For real.
yes.
You know, and that's just where the disconnect is. Because if you know what you want, you kind of, and it's like the law of attraction. If you know what you want, you're gonna get it. At one point in time, a while ago, at the my last,
Yo, we all knew at that moment. We all knew at that moment it was about to get found.
look. So, you know,
I'm
I realized
log out,
I said
log back
I
in,
wasn't
y'all.
gonna date black women anymore because I felt like black women had too much mouth.
Okay.
You know, they always had an opinion about something, and the way the delivery it was
You didn't like it.
aggressive.
You didn't like it.
Because I would never talk to her or any other woman's type of way. So I'm not going to date any woman who like to run their mouth, who like to talk back. And I find that out. I realized that. And when dating someone, you have to read those signs early. Don't act like they not there. Because then when they come back and
Yeah,
haunt
tell them
you,
about
when
themselves
they
early.
come back and you
Red
like,
flags.
you should have saw the red flags. You saw them. You chose to ignore them because what women tend to do is they see a man and they see our potential. But if that man is not ready to become as great as he know he can be, and that's how women get caught up with a dude. They think he's a great dude. Not saying you, but I'm just saying.
I'm a great dude. Wait a minute. I'm amazing.
They know he can.
I'm
He's a
amazing.
strong
Mike
black
said, "Wait a
man,
minute."
But if he ain't shit,
Discredit me.
he ain't shit.
They deal with him. They still
And a
deal
lot
with
of
him.
times,
Well-
people don't grow up or evolve until that particular woman leaves them alone.
Same thing with men. You see men who are dealing with these women, and next thing you know, this is the mother of your child, and now y'all at odds and going at it. But come on now, wasn't she always like this?
Yeah.
Was you not paying attention?
No, they was paying attention.
So you gotta know what you
So,
want
yeah.
from the jump.
That's true.
You gotta know what you really want, and that goes hand in hand with what you were saying earlier. People want to be married, but they don't understand. Read the fine print.
Oh yeah, you better read the fine print. You gonna lose everything.
All that fine print.
You gonna lose
the
everything.
Fine print.
The
better
good
read it.
brother.
Print
The good brother.
behind the fine
The
print.
good brother said. The good brother said he was like that at one point.
Yeah. What was it?
You said
Yeah.
you were thinking about you.
Yeah, I wouldn't bought cars, man. I was married for 5 years. I bought cars. I ain't
Oh, we
consulting.
have some married people who have experienced.
Yeah,
marriage.
I've been there.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I done bought cars, without consulting with my ex-wife. I didn't care. It's my credit.
Mm-hmm.
So
What did that do though? How did that work out?
it didn't, obviously. I just, we grew apart, so it was just time to move on.
But I mean, outside of it, because that wasn't.
I learned from it though.
And I'm
You gotta
not
communicate.
jumping in your shoes.
No, you're fine.
But
I'm
I'm
cool
sure
with
that
it.
wasn't the only thing. But speaking on your part of that piece, because immediately when I said that, you was like, "I did that," and that's a big thing.
You gotta-
Period.
yeah.
You got to acknowledge
Acknowledge
that.
what you
so
did wrong.
I mean, how much of that was a part of it? Not to say place blame, but thinking going forward, like
50%. 50% lies on the man, 50% lies on the woman.
right,
Okay? If y'all not 50-50, you got a problem.
100.
You got to be
50
100%.
and 50 make
And
100.
it was something else you're saying. Like, in order for example, me to move on, I have to be 100%.
With
I have to be
yourself.
whole.
With yourself.
If I'm a fraction, I can't date I'm 100%. I can't date a fraction person.
No 1/4. You hear it, Mike?
I can't. You got to be 100% because
No one has.
a fraction going to subtract from a whole any day.
This is
Boom, man, you got a math lesson.
Woo!
Okay.
This is
Woo!
what I thought about
Boom.
that. I was thinking about it. I still don't know if I'm right or wrong about it. All right.
Speak your
About
piece, brother. It's a speak easy.
100. All right. About that. Topic.
You got to be whole. You got to be okay with
All right,
you.
but how much in a relationship? What part do you preserve for yourself? What do you get to keep? Do you, are you supposed to give?
I'll tell you how to
feel
work
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, don't you, as a man, don't
Yeah.
you one time downstairs playing the game
But
and
here
watch
you-
it and not being bothered?
But if you got a real woman by your
I'll
side,
give you that.
she gonna give you. That's not even gonna be a question.
And
And
here
I'm gonna
come
give you an
Mike
example.
with the shotgun.
I'm gonna give you an example. That's like with my daughter.
Yes.
Oh,
Who is adorable.
listen.
Yes.
With my
Such a
oldest daughter, 4,
Yes.
right? A woman is not gonna make me choose between my kids
Absolutely not.
Let me see
because
this
she
man.
gonna say, you know
Let me see
what?
this man.
She gonna say, you know what, baby? Go ahead. I'll see you later. A selfish woman is gonna say, you ain't spending no time with me. You doing this? You working too much? You don't. Bye. See you later.
Ooh, I wasn't getting to that too.
I'm gonna say bye. See you later. And that's one of the reasons why I'm single because I'm fine.
You're single, Mike?
Yes.
Is that what you said? You say you're single?
Yes.
Hey now. But no, but speaking to the
Wait a minute, you got a Christian mingle on?
no, we gotta
Screen name, Mike?
get sponsorship
No,
from them
man.
first. But no, speaking to
no
your
Christian
question,
mingle,
right?
man.
Speaking to your question, when I was deep in my marriage, that was something that
How long
I
was you married?
struggled with.
How long was you married?
8 years. 8 years. And that was something I struggled with because I felt like I always gave myself
And
and I had nothing to preserve for myself. And that was my fault. It wasn't the other person's fault. It wasn't her fault. She was doing what she was doing. I just was losing myself. But to piggyback off of that, having that ability to have your own space and support, I also believe that as a man, if somebody's truly invested in you, there are rare moments where you don't want to share it. And hear me out. So if I'm playing video games, if you got a woman that really bangs with you and really knows you, she might be playing with you. And it might be those instances. There's always going to be instances where we like, yo, I'm going with the boys. This ain't your night, player. You know what I'm saying?
But a woman, a
when
real
you-
woman is gonna understand
They
that.
can understand that. But when you really want those nights,
What? But they do. But on the flip side,
I
as
think
men, we gotta set aside for them as well.
absolutely.
So we gotta say, you know what? Thursday night are our nights.
Yep.
And what I used to do, even though, you know, I used to spend a lot of time at the house because I was working 3 jobs at the time. I was working for the state of Maryland, who fired me anyway.
Damn it.
And I've been good ever since. So,
Damn it. I won't
but
speak on them.
you know, I was running a security company. I was working as a law enforcement officer. You know, trying to spend time at home. You know, law enforcement. I was working 16 hours a day almost. You know, so the times I would spend at home, I would make dates for the girls. I would make dates for the wife. It just wasn't.
Dope.
Sometimes I just felt it wasn't good enough. You know, it wasn't good enough. It was just too much. So you still got to make time for them. And then they say,
Absolutely.
if you make time for me, then I won't say nothing when it's time for us to go out,
Wrong.
or when the men want to go out.
Wrong.
So you know, it's kind of you just got to find that right balance, man.
Balance.
So just
Yeah,
to make a
Yeah.
just to make a point clinically, you have to
Uh-oh.
have self-preservation.
Yes.
If you do not preserve yourself and your sanity, your health, your wellness, you cannot pour into anybody else at all whatsoever. And I think that overall, the black community, we do that a lot. We put so much on ourselves. I know that I had a forum last year where I talked about the black woman syndrome, where we take on everything. We are the mothers, we are the lawyers, we are the cooks, we are doing all of these things. We're juggling all these things. We're wearing all these hats. However, we don't do any self-care for ourselves. We don't take a step back and say, I need an hour of silence, or I'm going to go get my hair done.
How about that? How long
You
does
know,
it take to get your hair?
so you just need that time. So or you'll put it on the back burner, and it becomes so far in the back burner that it becomes non-existent. I think the same goes for men. That's something that I definitely preach and beat in the head to anybody that I know. You have to preserve yourself. You have to, because once you have depleted everything, you have nothing to give to anyone. and you are useless at that point. There's nothing, you can't build anything if there's nothing there.
What are some
if
things that
there's
you
no
can do to
foundation.
preserve that?
You take time out for yourself. First of all, you have to know what you find enjoyable and pleasurable, and you have to make that a priority. So even if it's saying, I am going to schedule, I have my work schedule. Mike, for example, I got these appointments for today. But from 3 to 4, I'm not going to do nothing but go on Spotify and listen to music because that's what I like. That's what I enjoy doing.
Shout out to Spotify. Sponsor us.
Or for Alicia to say, okay, I have back-to-back meetings, I have consultants, I have to consult, I have to do this, that, and the third. But from 3 to 5, I am going to get my nails done, and I'm going to relax, or I'm going to schedule myself a massage twice a month. But you make it a priority. You put it a bill. One of the things that we don't do, we don't pay ourselves first. We have to do that. We have to do that because once we do that, once you get to a point where you're taking better care of yourself, you will see how things will open up in your life. You have a whole new world view.
So can I interject on this? And you said something, and I agree with most of what you said.
You agree with me?
For today.
Is it documented?
For today. For today. You said something about women always feeling like they have to take on everything. I want to remind everyone that we all speak from a vantage point of privilege or lack thereof. And from what Mike is saying, it sounds a lot like how I felt. That I'm taking on everything and I'm feeling everything. And it's just a matter of understanding, and I almost lost my original point. It's just an understanding that black men and black women are wired differently. And so and I agree with you. And here's the point. As black men, we have to make even more of a conscious effort because even in the literature that I read, black men, when trying to pursue higher education, culturally from the days of W.E.B. and the struggle between dual consciousness, where his father said, don't get an education, go work in the farm and make that money. There's a lot of men that I've met, many men that are scholars in their own right, ain't got no degree because they got to put that food on the table. I've met a lot of men that have showered and taken bird baths in the gas station, working 3 to 4 jobs just so they lady can get the second, third degree that they don't even need. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's a bad thing, but we also have to understand, and this is a cultural thing, we also have to understand, and to your point, we got to know what we want. And we also got to understand who we are culturally, and everybody has their own special case. Everybody has their own special case. Because I always say Jennifer's a special case because she has sons. She's a dedicated mom. Alicia's a special case because she's one of the most selfless people I know. But we also have to realize, and I go down to the point where I say men and women are different. Us three here, we not going to speak for our whole gender. Because we know some foul dudes. But
definitely can't
women have to stop generalizing everything and everybody and understand who you dealing with, who they are, what they dealing with, what they need, and what they want.
I just had a conversation with a friend today, and she's like going through the situation, and she's like just so frustrated, blah blah blah, and I just asked her the question like, in this situation, yes, you're upset and you're frustrated, but it's your expectation that has you frustrated, upset.
Right.
Because instead of taking this situation for what it's worth and what it has presented itself to be time and time again, and you accepting this person for being who exactly they are, you have this preconceived notion of who you want them to be. So you keep hitting up against this wall in disappointment. At some point, we have to know that we cannot get orange juice from apples. It's just not going to happen. And I think a lot of times we do that with one another. If somebody presents themselves to be a certain way and say, this is who I am, I can't turn around and say, no, this is who I want you to be, and I'm going to wait until you are who I want you to be. That's not going to happen. I think a lot of our disappointment ties into that. However,
Thoughts?
Once you realize that, I think, like I said, you will view relationships and especially dating differently. If somebody presents to you that this is what I want, this is how I am, it's not your duty to try to sway them or change their mind to be to fit what you want, to serve what you need.
So do you? And does anybody have anything before I ask her this question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mike.
It's hard being a man. It's not easy.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
See,
too.
that's the problem right there.
Why you didn't just accept what he was
See, that's
saying?
the problem right
and
there.
listen what he
and
said.
see, I knew one of y'all was gonna.
Yep.
was gonna
Yep.
I knew it.
Yep.
But it's hard. It's hard. We're losing our men every day.
Yeah.
Every day. It is so hard. And the first thing a woman said, we're not subtracting anything from you, queens. Ever. We know. Y'all give the ability to bring in life to this earth.
Preach.
So it's hard being a man. And a lot of women don't know how to understand a man. Speak the man language. If you know how to speak the man language, you can get us to do anything.
So when you going to
Come on, stop telling the
You can get us
secrets.
to do anything.
Stop telling the secrets. You gotta put this in the
You know,
book.
So when is
you
the
can
book coming, the
you
manual?
can get us to do anything.
You gotta put this
But
in the
you gotta
book.
understand how
When
to
you
speak
gonna give us the cheat
our
codes, Mike?
language.
We
There's
need
no
the cheat
such thing
codes.
as no cheat codes. All you gotta do is listen to us.
So
All you gotta do is listen. The man gonna tell you everything. Just listen to him.
Yeah, we
Very
are
easy.
easy as hell.
Very easy.
We are real simple.
Very
We are complex, but we're simple. We're complex, but we're
Very
simple.
easy.
But a true queen is not emasculating you. She's building you up. She knows how to speak to the king in you.
right.
And so I would say the two of us, I will speak for the two of us, or at least myself, and say I don't try to speak to your potential. Or if I am speaking to your potential, I'm speaking to the king within you. I'm not just tempting you sexually, but I'm trying to feed your mind.
Right.
Because if I attach myself to you, then that means I have said that I'm going to be submissive to you and allow you to lead me. But before I allow you to lead me, I have to know that you know, or you at least have a plan for us. And that's where I believe sometimes it goes wrong. There are a
Kinda
whole
fall by
lot
the
of other
wayside.
factors.
But it's how
I agree with you.
Speak on it, Diamond K.
I hate when women
Even
say
though
that.
you
Because-
made,
Listen, I was
you
about to
made
get into it, but
an
I heard
agreement
you.
to be on my side.
It just, it's
Right.
not you. It's not you.
The agreement went out the window.
It's just some of the stereotypes that women say. Like when women say something like, if you was a real man, you would do this, or like y'all know what that y'all know what
And that's
a
not
real
what I
man
said.
even. No, I just said like that.
Okay.
But it's just like when a woman says, "I'll follow you if I know that how you want to lead me." You ain't supposed to know, because the thing is that if the general is leading the soldiers, let's use that, and the soldiers say we ain't going over this mountaintop unless we know what's on the other side, because if the general is
trust me.
leading, you have to trust the general.
That's the big
You may
issue. The
not
big
know
issue
the
is
way.
trust.
You may not
Articulate
know. You may not
what the
know
plan
what
is.
we ain't
So
gotta
if
do
you're
that.
not next to
we
me,
ain't gotta do that.
I can still carry on the
No,
plan.
but see, the thing is we ain't supposed to do that. We trying to think of the plan. It's hard enough navigating through it. Now we got.
Now I
we
gotta
gotta
explain it
We
to
gotta
you.
tell you
But
everything.
you better at least
No.
be able to give me the
But
visual.
but
If you can't give
Trust
me a
or
detailed
don't
plan,
trust.
you need to give me a
If you're a
vision.
team, it's about communication. So
Right.
You have to. Everybody got to know their role.
I'm gonna
Let me
say.
ask,
Go ahead.
let me-
Go ahead, Mike. Go
let
ahead,
me
Mike.
ask you this
Go
question,
ahead.
right? If I came home to you and said, "Babe, I robbed the liquor store," right? What you gonna say?
Did you bring?
Or I
Did
said,
you bring
"Babe, I
the
slept with the
Jabin?
woman, the female down at the liquor store." What you gonna say?
Did you use protection? Did you use protection? Because love
Let's
would
get
have made
that out
you
the way
use protection
first.
because you wouldn't have brought anything.
Can we go back to you robbing the liquor store? Can we
Yeah.
go back to you robbing the liquor store?
Because I'm trying to
Hold
get,
up.
I'm trying to get to a point.
No,
Let's get a pause.
No, listen, because he threw me off. I wasn't ready for it. Listen, I wasn't ready for
Let me
it.
tell you.
No, because I'm trying to get to a
No,
point.
let me tell you why I say that. Because I believe.
But you just let me rob the liquor store. You ain't
many-
say, "Babe, let's get in the car."
So many different conditions on love. Love is supposed to be unconditional.
I agree.
And so I would say, and I don't want to be like the all spiritual one, but there's only one reason why divorce is mandated in the Bible, and that's for adultery. And so if you come to me and say, "I robbed a liquor store," I'm not going to leave you for that.
It wasn't
I
about you leaving.
connected myself
It's about
to
trust.
you, so I'm about to ride this thing out with you.
With
Now,
God.
whether that means
But you ain't say that.
you going to turn yourself
You
in,
ain't
I'm
say
that
gonna
initially.
try
You
to
was like,
find
No,
yourself
you
out.
you asked the wrong question after that. That's what happened. You asked the wrong
Because-
question.
Because I'm trying to get up to a point.
That's what it is.
Let me get there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you asked the wrong question after that.
No. Because a lot of times, when there's woman trust issues, it's always because of a man cheating or something. Of
It's
that
relationship
nature.
trauma. It's past
Yep.
hurt that you
Yes.
just cannot let go
Yep.
of. It's that baggage.
So how?
And you do it because you this is your protective measure. This is your defense
But
mechanism.
how do you move forward?
You have to let your guard down. You have to, if you want to move forward and
I rest
trust,
my
you
case.
have to be vulnerable and you have to give yourself the ability to be hurt again. That is on the table. You have to put that on the table.
Thank you
I might
for
get my
admitting
heart
that.
broken.
I love you
might
100
get
more
my
times just 'cause
I
you
might
said
get
that.
my feelings hurt, but you won't know until you fully open yourself up and actually
I
have the
agree with that.
experience. So as long as you got that wall built, you're not going to progress.
But
You're not
every-
going to
That's
go
what a lot
nowhere.
of women have nowadays. too.
Absolutely.
Especially a lot of black
Absolutely.
women. They got-
And I'm
that's the wall.
I'm not saying that we don't have a basis to have that wall. We have a lot of reasons to have that damn wall. A lot. But the goal is to move forward, moving past the hurt. That's the goal.
Well,
You have to move past the hurt.
we all crossing genders. We all have that.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell
Yeah.
brothers all the time, like, you know, like my sister told me a long time ago, men hurt. A hurt man is worse than a hurt woman. Women
I believe
forgive
so, too.
much faster than we do. We hold stuff back since we was 12
Ooh,
years
Lord.
old. Our first
That little
girlfriend
girl broke your heart at
that-
6 years
in
old. And now
elementary school.
everybody.
We not feeling
Like,
it.
if I slept with the man at the liquor store and I came home and
Man, listen, everybody gotta die.
But that's also,
That's what's
but that
gonna
also
happen.
but that also speaks
Everybody
volumes too, because
Mike
on
was about to
average,
answer the
hold up.
question.
Oh, my bad.
Mike paused again.
Mike Paul.
No,
Mike
because he
did
jumped in. No, he
answer
jumped in.
But on
He
average,
jumped in.
but
He jumped
most
in.
times, women just don't sleep with people without emotional connection. Men, we could drop.
Unless she
And
angry.
I would
Unless she
agree with
angry.
that.
Maybe
And I'm gonna
40
tell you
years
this
ago.
why.
I said
but not in
most.
2000.
Oh, they
I said
doing it
most.
now.
I will
I said
say
most.
They doing it now.
there is a certain type of woman who has been hurt enough where she can disconnect herself because of that hurt.
True.
Not saying that it's right because we weren't naturally built like that.
I said most. That's my point.
But there are
Here's my
some
point. You're
women-
feeding into my point. You're talking about those special cases. On most instances when a man does that, the emotion ain't behind it.
But you
when
saying-
y'all cheat,
You
y'all
saying-
already ready to move in with the
I
dude.
can't agree with that. You're saying most. I saw a meme the other day that said the worst is like something to the effect of the worst STD to catch is feelings.
Oh my.
What you mean?
The worst STD to catch is feelings. So
So
the
how does
thing
it
is,
support your claim then?
nobody wants to feel anything. You're saying that women have an emotional connection. I'm saying no, they don't.
No, what I'm saying is more than men. When y'all do it, there's a lot more emotion into it
Maybe
than
40
it
years
is with
ago.
us.
I don't know about now.
It's still kind of that way. But back to the trust, back to the trust factor. I think what we're all saying is we don't know how to do both, because as men, we trying to do what we trying to do. We trying to lead the plan, and we asking for y'all trust. We also saying, like you said, we a partnership. We gotta communicate, but you also said it's how you communicate. A lot of people out here that are in
Don't know
relationships
how to communicate.
don't know how to
They
communicate,
communicate via text, right
Or-
next to each other.
or you chastising your guy.
That's the biggest. The
Or
biggest.
not listening.
That
Or
is
you're
the
not
biggest
listening.
reason that most couples
Women-
report for divorce and dissolution of
Because
relationships.
women like to do a lot of talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all talk, yeah. That's what y'all
You know,
do.
we talked a lot about like grant writing. When you write a grant, there's a certain amount of technical writing that you do versus when you're writing a book, it's like a narrative prose. Same thing as in a relationship. You need to know what language to speak. And so that's a big
Speaking
thing
the
about
man
knowing what
language,
your love
right?
language is.
I agree.
Like my
Yep.
love language is affirmations
Positive
and
affirmations.
gifts.
Words of
Okay.
affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
I love when I wake up in the morning. Let's say I'm talking to someone. When I wake up in the morning, I'm an early riser, so I'm generally up by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I get up, spend my
Yeah.
time with God, and
Absolutely.
as soon as I
That's
get
your you
out
time.
of that time, like the first thing that I generally tend to do is send whomever I'm with a message of affirmation, whether it's just good morning, have a great day, here's a scripture, or here's something to boost your day. Like, as the woman in the relationship, I personally feel that it is a part of my role to make sure that my king is okay.
Right.
Because he can't feed into me if I'm not feeding into him.
Got a slow clap that
Very
one.
true.
So, you know, going back to the conversation that EJ and I had, it's about preparation. And so during your time of singleness, you have to maximize your singleness. That's the time where you are really figuring out who you are, what you want, because the person that you're with is a reflection of you.
Yep.
When I walk out the door, I am a reflection of whatever man I have attached myself to. And so I think a lot of women don't take the time in their season of singleness to really learn to love themselves so they can give love to whomever they're with.
Women tend to jump in
And
relationships.
Yeah,
me too.
they don't want to
And
be
I think
single.
a part of that is because we've always been told the best way to get over one is to get under another. But going back to my original
Sometimes
That
it's
is
true.
so problematic.
Sometimes it's
going
true.
back to my original point, like when we speak about marriage, are you really prepared for that? Like as a woman, have you sat down and do you have 7 meals that you can prepare, make sure your family's good for the whole week?
Are you able to
Like,
budget finances?
have you, is your money on point?
Is
Do you
your-
know how to
What is your
manage?
credit
Like,
score?
There's
Yeah.
a season of preparation that I think not only women but men miss too. And so that's how you get into that whole broken people trying to get together and become whole when you were supposed to be whole before you got
Before you
with
even
someone.
got there. Yep.
And
It could be the
so,
sex.
But
though.
you
You
know,
got some real
you
good
know if
points.
somebody. Can you tell if somebody's broken when you start dating them?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I think
those
you can.
are
You
those
why-
see, you see the
Should
red
we pay
flags.
very-
So why-
That's
Paying
issues
attention to
coming.
You see the red
person
flags. Most people ignore them.
Why?
Or like Chris said, it's overpowered by sex. I think the sex part, you can't leave that out. When you
Definitely
incorporate
can't.
that, especially if you're getting good sex, it'll make you overlook a whole lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It does, but and you know I think
Criminal
another
record.
thing,
Like I know you can't cook, and I see you boil oodles and noodles every day, but ooh,
you know, you also have
You know,
to think about, is that man making, is he talking to you or is he just getting a nut?
Oh,
And
man.
so many women miss that. Like, there's that whole intimacy level. Like, are y'all even there? Can you make love to this man and look in his eyes and everything y'all was going through, like, y'all done communicated that via what y'all doing?
I think both men and women are so scared to get to that point. They're so afraid of intimacy that they kind of get hypersexual, and they completely miss the intimacy part.
But there's a part before that you guys are not mentioning that a lot of women, going back to what we were talking about, what Chris was saying, that piece of a man. See, traditionally, if you're talking to good men, we put our women first. We sacrifice. That's what we do. Fuck anything you gotta say on that. We as men traditionally, whether your daddy, your uncle, you seen that man sacrificing. Like Chris Rock said, all he wanted was a big piece of chicken. But y'all have to at
Give me
some
Popeyes
point,
chicken.
y'all at some point have to understand that a man and a woman need to be friends.
Yeah.
Your priorities are not bigger than mine. What you want to talk about, when you want to talk about them, and how you want to talk about them, it might not coincide with the way I want to do it. How about hear it the way I want to hear it? How about understand what I've been going through? And I'm not talking about you, but how about, and I'm not talking about you, but how about
I know you
understand what I'm going through? Like Chris said, he said, I stopped dealing with them, not because of the ethnicity, but a lot of people he was running into was missing the major key. He don't want to be talked to like that.
Right.
He don't want, it's bad enough. And plus you got to factor in, we always talk, and this is part of my black male empowerment piece. As black men, now if I seen these two brothers on the street walking up to me, there's a few things that go in my mind. Are they holding? Are they coming for me? Or are they cool? I got to deal with that. Y'all have to as well. But I have to deal with that. I had to deal with the police. I had to deal with how society sees me just by being big. So it's like, as
It's
a
a
black
lot.
male,
Hard being
a
a
lot.
man.
I don't
said
want to
it.
come home and you talking to me like my enemy.
Right. Right.
I would.
Yeah.
And that is why so many of us black men give up.
And let me just say this, because Mike had brought it up before when I first started talking about it, and he kind of highlighted on, well, what about the positive couples, and they're all positive couples.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time, and I will do it every time I get on this mic. My parents have been married for 33 years, been together for longer than that, and it takes so much to sustain a marriage. But I think at the very basic level is two people coming together and saying, we're gonna ride this together no matter what. Period. We're gonna figure it out. I don't care if you don't like me this week or this month. It does not matter. Leaving is not an option. We are going to sustain ourselves in this marriage. We're going to sustain our family, and that's going to be our priority. And I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people stay together, and they have this whole thing of, we're going to keep ourselves together just for the kids. But the kids get older and they move out and they get their lives on their own. What happens after that? And how do you sustain a marriage when now you don't even know your wife or your husband? You're somebody completely different. And people always try to fall back on you've changed. You're supposed to change. If you are growing in a relationship, change is necessary. It's gonna happen. You're supposed to grow and change together. It has to be
somebody has to see it.
But you will change.
Yeah.
The woman that you married at 20 is not going to be your wife at 40. She should not be the same wife to you. She shouldn't.
But
she
you got to
should be
change
better.
together.
It should be growing.
Got to change together.
It should be growing. There are things that you're going to learn in your relationship as you move forward with one another. Your life is not going to look the same at 20 as it does at 40.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right, with relationships, this is my theory now.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, Chris got a theory. Y'all listen.
No, it's just that leading stuff. I really don't care too much about it. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know I'm a leader. But I really want to help. You know what I'm saying? I want a partner. I want her to have more than what I have. And how can I help you get more than what I have? Because if I die today or tomorrow, I need to make sure you're good. So a relationship should be just mutual, fit, like
100 and 100.
It's 100 and 100. A marriage or even having children is a business.
Oh, it's definitely a business.
Big business.
So that's
definitely
how your perception should be when you go into a relationship. Is this somebody I'm gonna go in business with?
He gonna piss somebody off for that comment.
And a lot of people
That's
don't
the
think
truth.
like that.
You're the second person I heard in the last 2 weeks say that. So this resonates.
You go to court, they're gonna tell you it's a business.
You better believe it.
You better believe
it. Those things. And then my thing with marriage, I just been scarred. Okay, I watched my mom say "I do," I think 4 times. So how, as a child, how many times can you say as a child watching somebody, you understand what marriage is, and you hear until death do us part 4 times at a certain point. So it's like I've done a lot of wrong things in my life.
Right.
There's one thing that I don't want to do.
It's marriage.
The wrong person.
Wow.
So it's like it's chestnut checkers. So but my problem that I find now that maybe I'm over analyzing it. I don't know what that was. But, I don't know. Maybe I think my point where I'm at now is that I may be over analyzing it too much. To now, I'm making excuses for myself. But I'm so serious about it. But I don't want to get divorced. If I get married, I don't ever want to get divorced.
That's not the goal.
But you also, like somebody said earlier, it might have been Alicia, I can't remember. It's also the intent when you go into it, and the more now, and you see, other thing is too, as a people, we don't really talk about it that much because a lot of us don't come from that. A lot of us don't come from that environment. A lot of us don't know what it means. A lot of us doesn't know what it takes. And I think the fact that you have the ability to say that impacts you, that's something that us as black men societally, they say we can't do. They say you can't be vulnerable. You can't be. You often hear, you talking like a female. You talking like a lady when you want to express how something has impacted you. So I think you've already made a good step to say this has impacted me.
That's a point of growth.
And I need to figure it out.
That's part of growth. And I'm a father, and I go in my bubble, and I feel like every man should. That's why I was talking about some things that you should keep to yourself. Or part of you that you should keep for yourself, because we're constantly growing, and sometimes you need to sit yourself down and reflect. sometimes you need to be by yourself and reflect. In order for you to become out of that bubble and become a better person. Same thing with a woman. If my woman wants to go out with her friends, please go out. How much money would you like? You know, because I want you to go out and enjoy yourself. I want you to have outside time with your friends. So when you come home, you appreciate what you got when you come home.
You know, I had
Chris stock just went up
I had
5 more points.
a totally
He about to get
different-
100K followers. Bro.
Yeah, this is going down in his
Yeah,
DM.
he gets. I had a totally different experience than Chris. Whereas, you know, I had a 2-parent household. My father was an entrepreneur. My mother was a school teacher. And so, you know, I had that whole sense of family. And I watched, probably when I got older and was really able to understand, especially in high school, I watched or I saw the results of my father cheating on my mother. And I listened to my mother cry every night because of the pain that she was experiencing with my father. And so, but she stayed because she felt like she had to stay for me and my brother. And so I get my sense of loyalty from my mother because no matter what my father did, my mom was there. And it came to a point where my dad actually got sick and he had to get his leg amputated. And I'll never forget his side piece called my mom's house and asked about him. And so I was like hot, livid. But my mother said, as only she could, he's fine. His wife is taking care of him. And so I watched my mother stand beside a man who was doing her dirty. And so I think today, one of the things that I learned from that situation is that, and this is where I will say women get hurt, is that we try to measure the strength of a woman by how much pain she can endure from a man, which is one of our downfalls. But I also believe that marriage is something special. And so, you know, as girls, we're always given that fairy tale early in life that our ultimate goal should be to get married. Well, why can't we be businesswomen? Why can't we, you know, run the world? Why can't we be president of the world? And so for me, marriage is something special. And because I know what I want, like, I'm willing to wait for it. Because I believe it's a partnership. Yes, my husband is going to lead me, but I'm also going to be his partner. If he wants to start a business, I'm going to learn what I have to learn to make sure that our business runs smoothly because it's taking care of our household. And so I think a lot of times,
I like how you turned that into his and an hour. That was good.
I love, you know, I need somebody who knows how not only to speak my love language, but is willing to teach me theirs. Like, I don't want to learn your past in order to, like, hurt you or use it to bring up, you know, something vengeful. But I want to learn your past so I know how to love you right.
I don't talk too much.
And so, and that's where we go wrong, because if we don't know what to steer away from, we can walk right into it. And so I think that's the part of communication. No, you don't want to dwell on the past, but you need to be able to have open lines of communication. Like, I want to be in a situation where somebody could walk up to my man and say, oh, I seen your girl here, there, and the third. And he'd be like, I know where she is. I know what she's doing, because we have that type of communication. And so I'm not even sure what I want still exists anymore, because I want that level of intimacy with someone that there's nothing you can't tell me.
All right, so this is, all right.
And so when Mike gave that whole situation about I slept with the person down in the store,
The fact that
okay,
y'all can communicate.
I'm not leaving you. We gonna work this shit out.
Right.
Why did you feel the need
So-
to have to go and sleep with the person? What am I not doing, or what do you need from me, so that we don't have to worry about this again?
I think it was, hold on, Chris, 1 second. That analogy was made to say I feel safer telling my woman that I shot or I robbed the store than to tell her that I cheated.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
When it should be
is we have
easier
that
to be
level-
to come home and tell you either or.
Exactly. We have that level of trust and communication between each other that no matter what happens, we're gonna ride it out for each other.
Now, when we talk about marriage, back like when the human race started, okay, how would you be married? Before a ceremony,
Before laws, before all of that.
how did two people marry each other?
Before laws.
Yeah, before the jump the broom, huh? Jump the broom.
You talking about
they
older
had-
than that,
they had
or
sex.
Oh yeah.
When you have sex with somebody,
Oh,
you
see.
are connected to a person, am
Right.
I not? Because sex or a relationship is all about frequencies and
Energies.
Okay? So the ring that goes on the finger is just a symbolization of the circle of life or the bond that you guys have.
Depending on what religion you're looking at.
Are you okay with being with somebody well, all right, in certain states, if you with somebody for a certain period of time, technically,
Common
legally,
law.
Common law, yeah.
common law, you're already
Maryland
married,
don't have
right?
it.
Right.
Not in
Maryland. People will break up in 6.5 years. You know, but
Let's take a break.
you're right. Oh, all right. I'm gonna get to that too. I feel like marriages. Why shouldn't marriages have a renewal, like an expiration date?
They don't.
Right. After 5 years, you're like, how this been going for you? This been going pretty well. I want to do it for another 5 years. Or if it hasn't been going well, you're like,
You want to re-up
Wow.
on the marriage?
this is new.
just leave it alone.
That is new.
I have never heard
That is
that.
new.
You know what? But you know what? You should
That
do
is
that.
dope.
But one thing that I recommend,
Wow.
and if anybody, decides to get married, if you do that every day, hey, how was your day?
I always ask myself,
How was your
are you
day?
happy?
Not even, are you happy? How was your day? Is there anything that we can do to make the day better? Anything I can do to make your day better? Simple little questions like that will lead you and let you know if everything's going all right.
So like when
Chris
you
got
a
a
part
lease
of
on
you know
marriage.
a part of doing couples a part of doing
They gonna
couples
have a lease on that
therapy
bank
is that's actually one of the things that we encourage couples to do. It's like a weekly or monthly check-in. Is are you happy? Is there anything that I'm doing that you don't like? What am I doing that you do like? And what can we do to make our relationship better? Ask those 4 questions once a month.
And even go beyond that. So let's say, okay, we have a mobile detailing business, right? Mike says in his time, I feel that you should be able to vent to whomever you're with. And so in the midst of his vent, and he, articulates an issue, as his woman, you should be able to say to him, well, what can I take off of you so that this is something you don't have to worry about?
But you know what most women do?
That's a partnership.
You so busy. You doing this. You doing that.
That's a partnership.
That's why I'm okay.
But
I'm
a
okay.
queen will say, babe, what can I take off of
And
you?
you're right. And you're right.
And it's not just saying it.
It's
Doing it as well.
The actualization
so if you
of
tell
it.
me I need 400 new towels, I'm either gonna go to the store and get them, or we gonna get on Amazon Prime and make sure
and
they're there
see,
the next
there's
day.
a difference between the saying of it and the actualization, and that goes back to the part of how much you're giving to somebody else. Because if you're really truly invested in that person, you can't be doing so well for yourself that you're neglecting that person too. Because while you have to preserve yourself, yes, but there is a balance. If you're not making sure your partner is good mentally, physically, and spiritually and financially, then what are you ultimately building a foundation on?
I mean, we're all saying these
We all say the
things,
same thing.
and it sounds good, but with anything like that, we know we're supposed to do. Putting it into practice is difficult. It's hard.
So that's it.
So every day, you're not gonna be at 100%. You're not gonna be poly perfect every day, but you need to, have that level of understanding and trust with one another. But the only way to get to that with each other is to let those
Let your
walls
guard down.
down.
Let
You
your
have
walls
to.
down.
You got to forgive that little girl that broke your heart when you were 6 years old and went and kissed that other little boy.
Hell no.
You gotta, you gotta forgive your baby father. He gave you a baby. You're not together, but you gotta move on with your life. Like, you have to make peace at your past and what has occurred, and move forward. Clean slate. You really do. That's the only way you're gonna get over that hump. Because as long as you're still carrying that baggage, it's gonna always come up. It's gonna always be an issue. And another thing, I think a lot of people are getting married for the wedding. They're not getting married for the marriage.
A lot of people, a lot of women.
They want the gifts.
A lot of people, a lot
They
of women.
want the pictures.
A lot
they
of
want
people,
the
a lot of
white
women.
dress.
A lot of people, a lot of women.
No, men and women.
All right, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
I know where you're trying to
Let's go with
So
Chris
you can
first.
say- You can say
Let's go
women
with Chris
want,
first. Let's go with Chris first.
Wedding, but
I'm
men
saying-
want the tax status.
Let's go with Chris
I'm
first.
saying
Well, I
no.
feel-
I'm saying men and
Nigga,
women.
I feel
Please.
like some men, and I see it from a distance, and this is just my observation, is some men are marrying because they're pressured.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Chris.
And that can ultimately just self-destruct the marriage from resentment later
Right.
on down the line. Because, all right, if a woman keep pressing the issue about marriage, keep bringing up the issue about marriage.
Well, you
about
wanna know what I'm gonna
marriage. No, I'm just
You don't know what I would
saying,
do.
But I'm just saying, it could put that man in a tough position where it's not that he doesn't love that woman. You know, but now it's like he's on a time frame, because then she talking that rah shit. If we not getting married, then what am I here for type deal?
Bye.
And then you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough
Yeah.
situation.
It's called the
But
gift of goodbye.
I have seen people that married just to keep his woman, but that's not who, you know. And then, I don't know. They could have, their same marriage could have worked out if it was
Maybe
addressed
down the
different.
line, or yeah.
It's called the
Yeah,
gift
I know
of
Different
goodbye.
pretenses. It's true.
It's called what,
and I
Mike?
wouldn't
The
recommend
gift
no man
of
do that.
goodbye.
The gift of goodbye.
Gift employee.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
No. The gift of goodbye. You tell them bye. Have a good one.
I mean,
A
but
lot
I
of-
think
a lot
that-
of people scared
I
to
think
walk
that
away.
pressure
You
comes
gotta walk
from
away.
a lot of places. Like you said, as a society, we are raised to be,
Women.
We need to be married. Like,
Women are societally
I get
raised
it
that
all
way.
the time.
Yes.
Why are you not married yet? Like, why do I gotta be
Especially
married like
old
right
people.
now? Like, what is the? Why does that have to be the end goal? But we do it to ourselves. Women do it to each other. And then
Especially
if
those who want
you get
kids.
you get a circle with women and 2 or 3 of them get married. Now they looking at you like, well, what
What's
you
wrong
gonna
with
do?
you? And the funny part
What
is,
you gonna do?
and the funny part is, you can have a group of 5 women or 4 women, none of them married, and they saying the same thing, and they don't even have a real clue of what it means. So it's like we are so afraid not to be in the mix that we don't want to learn about what it is before we become in the mix. You can get any fool can get married, but it's like you don't know what that really entails, and that's for men and women. This is not something I didn't realize myself that this is literally forever. Like, this is not for 5 years. I didn't have a 5.
You don't have a
that
5-year
that was
re-up.
dope though. That was dope.
You don't have a
and I think
5-year
people
re-up.
should. I think people should adopt that. But I didn't think. And even when I had reservation, I didn't fathom forever, because in deep down I ignored signs. I was not true to myself. I did it for a certain reason. I put the pressure on myself. All these different things. Not knocking the other party, but that was me. I didn't learn me. I didn't know me. I didn't want to know me. I didn't. All these different things. People forget that marriage is forever. Supposed to be forever.
To death do his part.
To death do you part. And a lot of people, you can't, like I tell people all the time, one thing I did learn, you cannot go into that thing thinking that, well, although you want to hold some pieces of yourself, and I'm just being honest, you can hold some pieces of yourself. You can do some of the things you like to do with whom you want to do, but you cannot go into that thing thinking you're going to go to the finish line being just an individual. It doesn't even conceptually make sense. And a lot of people are not willing to let that wall down and give up themselves.
And I think another thing that definitely will kill it is that we compare one marriage to another, one relationship to another. I don't like the cookie cutter
Will and Jada.
approach. I don't like that whole the labels and the generalizations, because what goes on between that man and that woman is between that man and that woman. Your relationship with your husband or your boyfriend might look different from mine, it will look different from yours. If it works and it's healthy and it's growing and it's progression, that's all that needs to be there. That's all that needs to take place. How that occurs can differ from relationship to relationship. I mean, you know, it depends. But I think that a lot of times, you know, so I think social media has definitely messed us up. I think, but even up more than that, because she kind of touched on it a little bit, and I talked about this before. Disney has completely messed us up. Disney. I'm gonna tell you why. Cinderella. You waiting for your Prince Charming on that white horse that is gonna come and sweep you off your feet.
No kids. $1 million trust fund.
You waiting for this fairy tale love. That is not practical. That's not how this happens. Yes, people have a love story. You know, people have you know, things that occur that they might describe being magical. However, the notions that we get as little girls is not. It's not what's the everyday. It's not the real world. So we kind of come up and say, okay, we're expecting these men to be perfect.
Well, at least you had something.
They're not perfect.
Somewhere else, but
We are not.
you know, to go back to the whole marriage, I heard a sermon, and his point was divorce is one of the worst deaths that you will ever experience. Because when someone dies, they're gone. You may have memories every now and then that, you know, make emotions come. But when you divorce someone and you see them again,
The death of a relationship.
it resurrects,
Yeah.
and then you have to die all over again, and you keep going through that cycle. And so that's why marriage and the sanctity of it is so important. But to go to Disney, so I recently took some of my church babies to go see Disney on Ice. And
Took
Bullshit.
my daughter.
I was first though, and this is just me. Like I was mad because there wasn't no black people.
I'm about
I
to say,
could have
what's my
told
black
you that.
princess
I
is?
already had a show on that.
That's
I already had a
right.
show on that. The
Tiana.
last time I went,
That's right.
Tiana was there for 10
So that's
minutes.
the whole-
No, 5 minutes. I could have told you that.
whole nother issue.
spoke on
Tiana
that.
was
I had
not
a
in
whole
it.
show
It wasn't
about
a
how
black
Disney
person
is
in
racist.
it. Disney, I need y'all to get it
I
together.
had a whole show.
Like,
He really did.
was
I
no
had a
black
whole
person.
show.
But we raised our daughters to really try to live up to this whole magical fairy tale that somehow their life has to be connected to their end game being to get their Prince Charming.
Being in love and getting the
And
Prince Charming. Yep.
we put our girls at a disadvantage so early in life. And even in the smallest things of, we buy them kitchen sets.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we buy them cars? Why can't they be the next race car driver?
Buy some
We
turntables.
always put them into a box.
Yeah.
And so it's unfair to girls. It's unfair to like the population in general because we're putting them in a box so early. And so once you experience that mindset of, you know, I have to get a man.
But
I have to have kids before I'm 40 because my eggs are going to
I
deteriorate.
push.
Like when my mom called me
yeah.
and was like, "Oh, you need to start thinking about
Women
freezing your
having
eggs."
babies
Like,
in their
"Mom,
60s
why am
though.
I freezing my eggs?"
But I push.
Why?
I push back a little bit because I think this is more of an issue for today's generation because I believe they're more impressionable than other generations before them because men are put into a box as well. You know, if you're a black male, oh boy, we're gonna put a ball in your hand.
Yeah.
You know, boy, you can't cry. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big
so,
one.
So we all
That's
as
a big
people,
one.
we all as people have that, and that comes with stereotyping. That comes with gender stereotyping. That comes with privilege. These are things that happen. What we're kind of agreeing to say is, and especially today, we have to see the reality and the truth. Like you saw what your mom was going through. I saw my mom as a single woman. You know what I'm saying? So I never had an identity of what marriage looked like. You know what I'm saying? Or what a father and mother dynamic looked like. But that was my reality. I had to deal with it. You know what I mean? As people today, we like to sugarcoat and cut so much for these kids and be like, oh, but you know, they have so much access to see it. If you don't do it, they gonna know without you and without your control.
That's true.
So it's like we gotta be, as a society, we gotta stop being so sensitive about everything. Hence why the comedy What's So Funny series is dope, because comedy is literally one of the last few places in the world where people can say whatever the hell they want for the most part and be all right.
Very therapeutic.
Let's talk about what's so funny.
They talk.
We got to.
Let's talk about it on the way out. Let's do it.
But for instance, Ty Davis, you know, when she started off, you know, she wasn't a comedian. What was she? She's just a person who
Talking.
went through things
Yep.
that other people can relate to.
Yep.
And then that's actually what makes you a better comedian. If you create or fabricate some ideas, the audience may not grasp onto those jokes because it's not real. It's not authentic. When you talk about your pain in front of people and people can relate to it, we all tend to find humor in our pain somewhere after it already is.
Some of the best comedians have a lot of trauma in their life. A lot of trauma in their backstory. Like Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Eddie Murphy,
Dick Gregory.
Yeah, I mean, most of them, you know, came from a place of a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's what they use as their therapy. You know, a lot of comedians say that their comedy is like their therapy.
Y'all come to what's so
Tiffany
funny.
Haddish.
But what's on a positive note though? Just to plug what's so funny again, like Mike
Oh,
was
y'all
saying.
coming and all.
You know what?
I got my ticket. I'm
I'm gonna have to get a babysitter.
Oh, man.
So
Somebody said they will babysit the kids on my live.
I don't know. I don't. I'm real.
Come on.
all babysitting services.
I'm real.
This
I'm
is your
real
time to be the
particular
plug.
about that.
This is your plug,
I'm real
babysitting
particular
services.
about that.
Go
yo.
ahead and
If I ain't
slide
no,
in
if
and
I
eat your
ain't, nah,
DM.
brother.
Because I'm pretty sure I volunteered maybe
A
like
few
2
times, I'm
years
like,
ago.
Like 2 years
And I still
ago. Wasn't a
wait.
recent.
I'm like, but I'm gonna try to work something out. But I mean, again, let's plug it. Alicia's going, so Alicia's going, and even if I have to buy her a ticket, she's going.
They gotta get their
So
We get them a table. Well,
Alicia's going.
Actually, Radio on Fire will be streaming live from the show.
Wow.
So we'll be streaming live.
Okay.
Yeah, that's big time.
Okay.
Make some noise for Diamond K taking
That's gonna
getting
be
back on the road, getting in the clubs. This is dope though, because I don't know who owns the Comedy Factory, but you know, you guys are behind this, and I met y'all, you know, and this is black owned mission. I love the two comedians that are featured. What's so funny? Valentine's Day comedy show. Ty Davis, the Cub Huntress, is hosting.
The Cub Huntress.
The Cub Huntress is hosting. Larry Lancaster is the headliner. Y'all got to give me this. Snow and D-Lo, the comedian, are featured, and music by The Chosen One. Eventbrite / What's So Funny. Tickets $35 for singles, $60 for couples, and admission includes a meal and a Now hold up. So the beverage is it? No, I ain't even gonna ask. It's good for me. It's good for me.
It's a cash
Here's the
bar.
thing. It's good for me because I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Regardless.
I'm gonna make it happen. Now, what's the Langston Hughes Community Resource Center? What's part of
It's the old Langston Hughes Elementary School. It's now a youth community center. It's a business resource center now. It's a community building.
Is that what? Is that
Black
what y'all?
owned as well.
What
Yes.
what's
It's in the
going
Park
on
Heights
there?
community. It's black owned as well.
Now, what's I know it was there, but what are y'all doing there? Is what I'm saying.
We're going to host a comedy show.
The show was gonna be there.
Yeah.
Right, the show is going to be there.
Okay, 'cause I'm thinking it was at the old Loafers.
It holds. No.
Okay,
No.
y'all usually
That venue
do-
holds. We're doing it there because that venue holds 500 people.
Right.
It's going to be a sold out show.
Right. Wednesday shows are usually at
At
the old
Loafers.
At
Loafers.
Loafers on Cape
So
Henry.
Langston Hughes Community Center, Community Resource Center, 5011 Arbutus Ave, Baltimore, Maryland 21215. But the series has just been locked in at the Loafers on Caton Avenue every Wednesday. Damn. 7 p.m. to 11. Y'all are,
And we do it on Wednesdays because it's the middle of the week. It's
yeah, hump day.
All
Hump
right,
day.
so we give you that little boost
Hump
stuff.
day.
You know, just to get you through the week.
Hey.
And, sometimes we do amateur night where it's a happy hour and we allow amateurs, regular people. in
I'm
the
going.
audience
I'm
that's
going.
Drinking a little bit.
I'm going up
All
there.
right,
You gonna
bring
go?
the fun.
Yeah. I've done a couple of amateur shows.
I try.
I've done a couple of
I
amateur
tried,
shows.
But shout out to my Sigma frat brother who's responsible for the Langston Hughes Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
George Mitchell.
Nice.
Mitchell.
Mr. Mitchell.
Great
Good.
Sigma man.
Yeah.
Nice plug. Nice plug. Nice.
See, we ain't talking. We talking good people here, man. Mr. Mitchell is a good guy.
And please let me use this opportunity to give some information. my business is sponsoring an event called Open Hearts for the Homeless.
Yes.
Where we are donating toiletries and that we put into love bags, and we're taking sandwiches and chips and snacks, and we're gonna go out in the community and pass these out to the homeless on Valentine's Day.
And this is second year.
Just giving away to spread some love. Yes, this is the second time. This is the second annual event that is sponsored by myself, which is in my business, which is J Pope and Associates LLC, and my sister Kristen Hood, who is not here, but is also sponsored and partnered with her and her business Uniquely Expressed, which is makeup and skincare. And this is something that we decided to do every year. We get donations from anyone who would like to donate. Please get in contact with us. You can get in contact with Kristen. Her name is Christianized on IG. My name is Leo_Lady_Love7 on IG. And we're just taking donations. So with the love bags, we are doing travel size toiletries. So that's little toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant for men and women, wash rags, the wet wipes or whatever that we can put in these bags, and we're going to go out and we're going to physically take these out and give it to people, the homeless people that we see. We had an awesome time last year. I took my sons. They had a good time. They actually spoke with some people, and you know, some of these people are homeless. We are not exempt. We could definitely be in their places.
And some of them have children as well.
Yeah, and their children out there too. So just an opportunity to, you know, spread some love. We do a lot for the homeless on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but what about the rest of the year? We need to, you know, take an initiative to do something different.
Just real quick before we check out, I want to go around. I don't know, Alicia, if you have any social media that you want to plug. I want to get Chris and Mike's social media plugged in, 'cause I'm sure they're promoting as well. Alicia, Beautiful Butterflies, yourself.
So for Beautiful Butterflies, it's Beautiful Butterflies Inc. on Instagram. If you are looking for nonprofit consulting or small business needs, it is ANJ Consults on IG and AJoynes on Instagram.
So let me tell you, is it A and the N symbol, or is it
A, the letter JOYNES.
Okay. And Chris, Mike, what are y'all social media plugs?
For my carpet cleaning and home improvement company, it's All Star Quality Services. Best carpet cleaning in the world, best upholstery cleaning in the world. As far as What's So Funny, just hashtag What's So Funny Wednesdays or What's So Funny on any social media. And you can find me on my personal page at I am King 410. Right?
CM Mobile Detail, the letter C, the letter M, Mobile Detail on everything. IG, Facebook, Angie's List, Google,
Okay.
Thumbtack.
Okay.
All right.
And what's your rates for the detail? And just asking for a friend.
We started $55,
He
man.
needs the
And we're
full
mobile.
package
Listen.
rate.
We started $55 for our mobile services.
All right, that's in my boat.
That would be an amazing Valentine's Day present.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Get your girlfriend a gift certificate to CNM
The special,
Mobile Detailing.
appreciate it.
Yes.
The special is you getting the best in the
Wonderful.
city.
Wonderful.
That's the special.
On a lunch break.
Y'all need to relax.
Come
Anybody wanna cash at me so I
come
can
back
get
to
my
a
truck
clean
detail?
car. Wait a minute. Come back to a clean car, full gas tank. That is some
Wait a minute, he
love.
say nothing about a full gas tank.
Yes, it's
love.
love.
Mike ain't say he
That
paid
is
for gas
love.
neither.
It's no point in the car being clean if it ain't gonna move because it ain't got no gas. It need gas too.
That's a good idea. That's a good
The
idea.
little
It's a damn good idea. But that Black Panther ticket is set up there.
Yes. Get your tickets. Go see Black Panther.
Wait a minute. Have you researched Black Panther any further? Take yourself to the corner right now. Because I done told you.
What happened?
Excuse
me.
over
No.
here bigging
Excuse
up-
me.
No.
Let's-
You were
let-
not.
no,
You
no,
were
no.
not. You were not.
No.
I'm a Marvel guy.
No. Listen.
So what I said
my
was-
agreement was I would research it prior to seeing
No.
the movie.
That's not. I gave you a
Run the
time
tape back.
deadline.
Diamond Cat.
You are at your
Didn't I
deadline.
say I would do it before the
here's
movie?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
No.
I
Here's the
still
thing.
got time.
I
You
told her.
pressuring me.
I told her
I got stuff to do. I'm
that
gonna get it done.
don't just go see this movie because it's black people. Dive into the comic. Follow what it's about so that when you get there, it makes sense.
But you go support
I
it 'cause it's
agree.
black people.
Go support it because it's black people. But we
And I'm gonna
can't be
do it.
finicky with this. We gotta adopt it because other cultures adopt their folklore heroes. They adopt their luchadors. They adopt their their no, not Paul Henry's, but their Bon Jovi, whoever it is. We gotta get into this thing. We gotta understand. So I need you to go in there, okay? Guns blazing. You gotta know better.
I got my tickets.
That ain't enough.
We got our Black Panther.
It's not
shirts.
enough.
I'm going to
It's
research
not
it
enough.
before I go.
Where's Wakanda?
EJ
Where's
in
Wakanda?
Africa.
All right, what is the biggest product, that the most valuable product of
It's
Wakanda?
that steel that Captain America shield made out of.
All right, you getting there?
Thank you.
Getting there? You getting
You
there?
been coming for me all night. I ain't do nothing to you.
I had
Where's the
to.
support? Where's the love? Diamond K, my backup. Can I get some help?
Not tonight.
So we're gonna see y'all on Wednesday.
Not tonight. I'm about to make.
What y'all
I'm about
wearing,
to
man?
make
Listen.
some-
What y'all wearing, man?
Yeah, what y'all wearing?
Topic, man.
On Wednesdays?
I'll be the best
Wearing all
dressed
black.
man in
On a
He
Wednesday.
think he gonna be the best dressed.
So I'm ready.
He think. Y'all seen
Wednesday?
Chris
Oh wait a
dress?
minute, we gotta come in on
You watch.
casket.
Listen, you know how we do.
So what's the dress code?
Whatever you wanna. It's Valentine's Day, man.
So when I come in
we gonna put
there-
on.
It's gonna be a photographer.
We gonna put
I'm in there
on.
with
Oh,
a
man.
full-fledged gown. I don't want to hear
Uh
nobody
oh.
mouth.
We gonna put on.
You
I got
might-
a cake
I'm having
dress that I'm really looking
You might
get
forward
cracked
to wearing,
on.
We
so
gonna
I
put
already
on.
got my Valentine's
You
dress.
might
I
get
got
cracked
a
on.
nice custom made suit.
I got tough skin. They
that I got
the only
just
one,
for
but I'm
you
gonna
guys.
look good.
Yeah.
It
A
don't
cake
matter.
suit, a cake dress.
A cake dress.
The cat suit. I'm about to say, wait a minute.
We're gonna drop the mic. Look where his mouth at the cat suit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
So
god.
we're gonna see all types of stuff on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we looking forward to putting on a great show for Baltimore City. We
And
want everybody to come out.
Before we go, I just want to give a mention and a moment of silence for Big Speezy.
Definitely.
We lost a Baltimore local comedian this week. And just want to say rest in peace and give my condolences to his family, his friends, and his other comedic family as well.
Absolutely.
Suffered a great loss. He was a very, very funny guy. But
We're
he
gonna do
was
something
also a
special
very
for
good
him.
person. He was a very good person.
Yeah, we're gonna do
But
something
no,
special
we
for him, man.
need
Definitely,
to say
definitely.
that. We definitely need to say that.
And arrangements haven't been made for his funeral, so we'll share that with
They
you
have,
guys.
okay.
Yeah, they have been
Okay.
made.
Give people their flowers while they're here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You see the
Got
people
to.
that man touched, man. You didn't know.
Yeah.
He touched a lot of great people, man. A
Yeah.
lot of people. And we were blessed to have more. Yep. And he started with us in 2016.
Wow.
Okay.
2016, he showed up at What's So Funny, and he been supporting us ever since. So we gonna do something special for him during the season, and we've actually reached out to his family already. And
Yes, he was
so,
well
yeah.
loved and he will be
Yeah.
missed.
Wow.
Definitely.
Never
I
easy.
mean, I think like in that spirit, like giving people their votes is like shout out to these four black men who are sitting here trying to do something big and positive in Baltimore.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Amen.
So I commend you all. Thank
And shout out to
And
y'all.
shout out
black
to y'all.
women.
We commend y'all as
Shout
well.
out to y'all too,
Y'all
black
powerful
women.
black queens.
We do.
Queen of
See,
shade.
you know what?
The queen of
You gonna pick it up and
shade.
say we do what we can.
I just want to let the side of shade show know. I believe Jennifer is the fourth member. If not, she might be one of the original members because she taught Kristen how to be shady.
Nah, she learned that on her own.
Nope. Stop lying.
I'm sorry.
Come on. We're trying to be truthful and let down barriers. Let down your barrier and admit how shady you are.
I'm not shady. I'm supportive. I spread love.
Okay, you can be a
Okay.
shady lover, but you're a shady lover. This is what I do.
It's been a pleasure, man.
But it's been a
Thank
great
y'all
show,
for having
man.
us on the show.
It's definitely
We
a highlight.
had a
Thank
great
y'all
time.
for coming out. I'm gonna try to rearrange my schedule.
Please do,
can't.
man.
Alicia can't
Get your
babysit
tickets.
because she got to
Please
come
do.
out. So
Please do, man.
Get your
We
tickets.
should have a daycare in the back. It's a resource center. We can just drop the kids off and pick them up.
but who gonna drive though?
you know,
Who
So,
gonna
what did
drive
that do,
though?
Chris?
the plug because inside of the Langston Hughes is Smart Steps Child Center.
Smart Steps
And
is in
so
there?
shout
Yeah,
out
it's
to
in my
you.
daughter's
Wow.
school.
Y'all need to hit her up because
No,
I'm
no,
pretty sure
my daughter is in Smart Steps in her school
There you
already.
go.
Yeah,
Brittany
it's a lot
is
of
the
Smart
woman.
Steps.
They were
Shout out
closed.
to
Smart
her.
Steps was closed.
So all we need to do is figure out how to get people home with their children.
You get an Uber discount.
I think yo,
That might
we
work.
got on to something.
Yo, it's a good
Y'all on to
topic.
something.
It
Listen.
might work.
It's three of us. They call us three wise men. They don't call us three wise men for nothing.
It's so. There you go. Think
Thank
y'all
y'all
on to
for
something.
tuning in.
Speakeasy,
safe.
radioonfire.com. And we out.
Later.
Yo, this is dope. I'm gonna have to call in a couple